Hello guys, welcome back to the KP show. This is the Champions Trophy edition. This is the first video that we are making after the Champions Trophy kicked off. So, four matches. We have India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, New Zealand, Australia, England, and South Africa versus Afghanistan. All teams were in action at least once. So, we have something to talk about. Now, what we'll be doing is we'll kickstart with today's game, which is Australia versus England. Then we'll talk a bit about Afghanistan versus South Africa, and then we'll proceed to our group towards the end, which would be India and India versus Bangladesh and Pakistan versus New Zealand. And also, we're going to do a bit of preview for the big clash, which is India versus Pakistan. So, if you're not interested in watching this part of the video where we talk about Australia, England, and South Africa and Afghanistan, you can skip forward to that section. So, cool. Without any further ado, let's just begin with the game of today, the Ashes rivalry, England and Australia. Pratik, did you see the game? What happened? I mean, Australia chased down a
Yeah,
massive total quite comfortably.
yeah. Means when it was the second rings break, I said that it should be chased down under 48 overs. The way
Mm,
Carey and Josh English were batting, and it exactly happened that way. They chased it down in 47.3, and it was quite evident from the fact that
mm,
around the 25th, 26th over mark, there was quite an amount of dew, and it kept on increasing. There was one instance when Markwood was bowling and he missed. He seemed to miss his footing because of the wetness on the surface. So that
mm,
was pretty evident that even 380 is not going to be safe under lights,
mm,
under dew. And Lahore traditionally is a very good batting wicket. We have seen that this Rahul, I think apart from Karachi is also good, but these are much better. Rawalpindi, Multan, and Lahore. Yeah, Lahore. These three are extremely good batting wickets. Even if you follow PSL, then you must be knowing that these are extremely good batting wickets. Like last year,
mm,
250 was also not safe there in Rawalpindi and all. So it's going to be fun in these venues. Hopefully, if
mm,
we get these kind of wickets. Also, good to see England. At least they got some score. At least they understood that this is a 50 over game and they have to bat 50 overs to put up a score.
mm.
And today they did it. Maybe they were 30 runs too short uh, because whatever they could get was because of the flurry of Jofra Archer at the end. He got a 10 ball 21 or something.
Yes,
Otherwise, it was a big failure. I think it was mostly of Butler and then Liam Livingston, Harry Brook. Nobody could do
Harry broke
anything.
all of them. Yep, exactly the
And
point.
something I need to highlight here. What was the intention of bringing in Jamie Smith into the 11? Because all this time, even if the previous series, if you see whether against Sri Lanka at home or Australia at home, Jamie Smith batted six or seven. Now in a Champions Trophy game against Australia, you bring him into the 11 out of nowhere. He didn't get a game in India, at least in the ODIs, and you directly send him at number three. What is the reason behind it?
Yeah, I mean it's a quite a big miss, I would say. But I think this guy Tom Bandon was not available for whatever reason, I believe. Not
No,
sure why they didn't prefer him. Yeah, if he was
I
available.
mean the problem with England is means they also have a similar set of problems as our bowling, right? Apart from Adil Rashid, Wood and Archer both are coming back from a long break. They, I think they returned to play against India only. Prior to the India series, both of them were not playing. Archer
Hmm.
barely played somewhere in, I think in the West Indies series or something, one or two games. Otherwise, he also didn't play. Wood was also
Hmm.
injured for a long time. Now, Bryden Cars is new. You had Jamie Overton. You were preparing him for the role that
Hmm.
Ben Stokes or Sam Curran played, and all of a sudden you remove him. He's in good form, Jamie Overton. You removed him from the team. Now Harry Brook, you are sending in at number five in such a crucial game when the
Yeah,
match is at
that's
200 for 3 and 30 overs. I mean, this was the same point when Josh Butler used to come in, and at least he has 600s in this position. At least in these kind of positions in that 2018 to 2022 period till Owen Morgan was
hmm.
there.
Hmm.
So I don't know why these sort of strategy changes at this point of time when you are not doing particularly well.
I think they had like three options they could have done here, and they chose the worst of the lot. So one was having the option that they did, like going in with Jamie Smith at three, and then four and five for Root and Harry Brook. What they could have done is what you said. That would have been the best option by playing a Jamie Overton, and he could have batted 6-7, that kind of a role. And everybody would have batted in their normal batting position, with
Yeah,
Root coming in at three and Harry Brook at four, or Brook at three and Root at four, whatever. They could have done that. The other option was if they wanted to include an explosive keeper in there, they could have gone with Tom Banton. I mean, the thing is, Tom Banton has plenty of experience. Like we've been well, I think if if anybody had followed cricket back right before the COVID time or just around the 2021 period, Tom Banton was fresh, and Tom Banton was like a phenomenal
he
batter
was the
who
talk of
used
the
to get,
town.
yeah, he was the talk of the town during that time. I mean, he could have been a good option, but yeah, I think they picked the. I mean, nothing against Jamie Smith though. Jamie Smith, for
I
whatever
mean,
period that he stayed in
what
the crease, he was good. It's just that it's such a big tournament and you don't want to, you know, uh,
also, even against
place a debutant
Australia
there.
in the series, like that was in September or something, the last series before their summer English summer ended basically. In there, I think they had 4 or 5 ODIs. In all those ODIs, if Jamie Smith played, which he played, I think he batted 5 or 6 or even 7 in some of the games.
Mm.
Then I don't understand this kind of strategy changes. And this is my problem with Brendan McCullum. I think I highlighted in the video in the earlier one as well that in 14 matches in the 2020 IPL, KKR tried 14 different batting combinations and they could not make it to the
Yeah,
playoffs. Right? So I don't know. And he goes on and says absurd statements. All of my 7 batters are match winners. Anybody can play anywhere. He was batting Morgan at 6 with DK at 4.
yeah.
Why? Why do you want to try such things? This is a 50 over
Wherein
game.
and
And
DK at that
why are
point
you
was the five over
again,
player.
again? I don't understand why are they hell bent upon wasting Josh Butler. He was the best white ball opener in T20 cricket at least for the last 5 years if you see the numbers, at least from 2019, 2018 when he started opening from for the Rajasthan Royals after the 2019 World Cup. Hands down in T20 cricket there is no better opener than Josh Butler. He had a good World Cup. He won you the 2022 World Cup. For no good reason, why do you shift to number 3? Now again, when the game is set at 200 for 3 or 210 for 200 for 3 in 30 overs, you send him at number 6. You break the momentum entirely by sending in Harry Brook. What was the reason behind it? Butler
Yeah,
was looking good. He got a good start. He fell to a shot. Means you got caught at the boundary. Okay, that is fine. Maybe he should have cleared that, but okay, that happens. But what was the purpose of sending Harry Brook over him in such a crucial moment?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
You are
doesn't
talking.
didn't
I mean,
make that sense. But I think Harry Brook had to play above Butler because Harry Brook would be wasted down the order anyway. Because I don't think Harry Brook he does have the ability to get those quick runs, but I think it would have been a very new role for him. I mean, again, it goes back to the point that why did you try this kind of a thing in a Champions Trophy where every game is crucial? And I would
yes,
say their group is much tougher because they have Afghanistan, and
yes,
Afghanistan can trouble
because
England.
and I think they will, but I think they will face Afghanistan in Rawalpindi, if I
Though that
remember the
neutralizes.
scheduling. But, but again, you never know, right? What happens on that day? Even in the 50 over World Cup, England crumbled against Sri Lanka at the Chinnaswamy at 167. They could manage barely 130 against India. And I think against South Africa smashed them for 380. They beat them by 200 plus runs. They can't bat. Even on good batting tracks, you never know with England, at least in the last 2 years. So I don't know why why do you want to make these kind of changes when the problem is your side is not clicking that well. If you are winning, if you are trying things and winning like India, they try anything, they will win because they know the players are in good form. Your players are not in good form. The combinations are not working. Why not go back to something which worked for you like 2 3 years back?
Yeah, and it's also about having that stability in the batting order, which again is
Exactly.
missing.
Today, Joe Root
Uh,
looked really well. I mean, if you had seen his innings, he was really comfortable. Got out to an umpire's call that was barely clicking the wickets. Very unlucky on his half.
Unfortunate for him. Yeah.
And yeah, Ben Duckett played a nice knock. And
Ben
what else?
Duckett was. I think we have to appreciate Ben Duckett. In one of the groups, somebody was mentioning that they had seen Ben Duckett playing a very mature role in the India series, which was true. And I think he carried on that form here, and he
Yeah,
batted very well. So they lost. So let's start with the game, how it happened. I think going in, we knew that both the bowling lineups were quite inadequate. Both the bowling lineups were weak. Let's be very honest over here, right? England, you
yeah.
can say, was slightly better on paper because you had Jofra Archer, Mark Wood, and those guys, and Adil Rashid. So four good bowlers. Yeah, but overall, if you see, it wasn't that that good.
Then you basically the dew negated the fact all these things
Dew,
because
of
after
course, Dew played a
25
back,
overs it
but
was a lot of
yeah,
dew.
yeah, but going in, we knew that there were going to be plenty of runs on offer. So when England batted first, and it's a good batting wicket, and England, we have seen that they tend to lose their shape and then they just go all out and minus 200 to 50 like that. But credit to Ben Duckett today, he kept his cool. It's not like he played a test match sort of innings or something like that, but he kept his cool. He chose balls where he had to attack. I mean, it was a very sensible innings. At the same time, he kept his aggression going. And Joe Root ably supported him. He got 68 of 78, 90, 95 strike rate. So he kind of held the act together. I think that was a very good partnership, which I don't expect from England to be sensible, but they did pretty much that today. And hence, that is why they were in a position at one point. If you look at maybe 38th or the 40th over, at that point it was looking like they could get 380.
Hmm.
And I would say
Definitely. I mean,
from
I
that
mean, at
position, they
the
would be disappointed.
yeah, at the 30th over mark, the projected score was 380, just before the fall of Joe Root's wicket. Just
Hmm,
in the 31st over only, I think Joe Root wicket fell, and
hmm.
it was all downhill after that. They could barely manage 350, which where they should have scored over 380. The way the platform was set, because of these kind of decisions, you are sending Harry Brook ahead of Butler, then Livingston again not firing as well.
Yep.
Uh, Anyways, Australia, credits to Australia again. Beautiful batting. Travis Hunt fell out cheaply. Very unlucky dismissal
I,
for him as well.
yeah,
And I think Matthew Short played a very sensible knock on top. Marnus also ably supported him. Steve Smith got out cheaply today again. I think good things are bound to come in the uh, upcoming games for Steve Smith because he is back in form. That is for sure. The foot movement and all those things are back. So some means down the line he's going to score runs.
yep.
Also, Alex Carey, they did a very smart thing by playing Alex Carey over this guy, Aaron Hardy, because
Hmm.
you can sense how much it could have been a difference if Aaron Hardy would have played today. Maybe they could have conceded like 20 runs less, but you never know on this kind of a wicket. Even Aaron Hardy is barely 12 ODIs old. So that could have been a master stroke for me, means playing Alex Carey on this wicket. They batted and Alex Carey
That
scored,
is
I think 70 runs, I think. Very quick 70 runs. And
69 of 63. Yes.
yeah, so and supported English as well. English, I mean, it was long due from Josh English. We had read about how good he is against spin and how good he should come on the subcontinent conditions. I was always in the opinion that Ben McDermott should have got a chance ahead of English, but these guys fast tracked English back in 2021 maybe. But okay, and I think they have made the right call. That I can
Yeah, yeah.
reply now.
English, Josh English got 100 against India also, right after the 2023 World Cup in the T20 series. He got
T20 series,
100
yes.
in India.
He was opening, I think, there.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he
he
was
was opening,
opening in
got
that
100.
game. Yeah.
He was opening and he got 100. So
Yeah.
yeah, coming back, I think initially when Travis had got out, I thought, okay, this is done and dusted for Australia. But they still had a long batting lineup. But what I
Mm.
felt was you need a big 120, 130 kind of an innings of very quick time, which actually English did. I expected that kind of an innings from Travis Head. I thought once he's gone, maybe Smith and Labuschagne, they would take their time and maybe, they could get stuck at the crease. But that short and Labuschagne partnership was also very good. They kept the
Yeah.
scoreboard ticking.
Even
And
Labuschagne,
okay.
even Labuschagne got a had a strike rate
He,
over 100 today. He was
yes,
also
yes, he got
batting.
7 of 45. And I remember this very distinctly when Labuschagne just came on to bat. I think it was Matthew Hayden on air. He said, Australia is in trouble right now. They are chasing over 350. They're two down fairly quickly, 27 for 2. Steve Smith is gone. Now Labuschagne needs to get back to his original form. He needs to score runs and he needs to score runs at a very quick rate. I think he of some innings he was scoring at 70 odd and his average had fallen to 20 to 23. He's saying that he said that Labuschagne has to come good and he has to come really good very quickly, and that's what he did. So that 47 or
Okay.
45, I think that helped
And
Australia.
Maxwell, how much can you praise him? He bowled well today, got the wicket of Butler in a very crucial moment. I think it was the 41st over or something. And now 15 ball 32 to finish seal of the game.
Yeah.
Maxwell doing Maxwell things.
Maxwell, I think he killed the game. I think if there was any shred of hope that England would have had at that point, Maxwell just said no, not today. It was that kind of an innings from him. And you talked about Maxwell bowling. I want to hammer one point home. We talked about Australia and England's bowling not being on point. The fact that Labuschagne was the death bowler for Australia, I think it is something that the viewers has to have to remember. Labuschagne bowled that 48th and 50th over. We talked about Jofra getting 21 of 10. He smoked Labuschagne towards the end. So that's how out of depth the bowling lineup was today for Australia. And
Yes.
uh, and we talked about Carey and English. I had one. I have one distinct feature about that partnership. I think it lasted for about 18 to 19 overs, of which only there were 4 overs in which they got less than 6 runs, of which there were 3 overs where they got 5 runs, 2 overs where they got 5 runs. So they never, shut their bats. Why we are saying this, we'll say this when we talk about the Pakistan and New Zealand game. It's a reference to that. Okay. They never shut their bats, even when like the required rate was too much. We had to, we have lost 3 wickets. Let's
Strike
just shut
rotation was
shop
one
and
point.
yeah.
The
It
strike
wasn't of the
rotation
mind.
was
They weren't of the mindset that let's shut down our shop and save our wickets and then we'll go aggressive later. That wasn't the case. They kept on scoring. They kept on taking those singles. They took the fielders on as and when the bad balls were there. So, so that's how. So, a huge credit goes to that partnership. The way those two guys batted was amazing, quite amazing to see. And yeah,
hmm.
that led to
And a
that
very
led to a
clinical
tremendous victory for Australia.
performance. A very
Yeah.
clinical performance by Australian batters to start the tournament because in the last two editions, 2013 as well as 2017, Australia didn't win a game. Three draws, I mean, three no results and three defeats. So I think it's a very good start to the tournament from the Australians. They face South
Next match is
Africa travel
against South Africa. Yes.
on Tuesday. So that is going to be a fun because that is also going to be a run fest. Now coming to South Africa, I think finally South Africa have invented a solution to their problem, and I'm glad to see that. Finally, they got someone who can bat at number seven, provide uh, some stability and some show some responsibility, and also can bowl few overs. No, may not be all 10 overs, but like 6, 7, 8 overs. That is V and Mulder. I think this kind of a player they were missing from the time Albi Market left their ranks. And finally, they have got someone whom they can trust. And this is going to be a huge, huge boost for them going into the tournament. Because the top six was, we had no questions about the abilities of the top six. Each of them is a match winner on his day. But the problem arises when they are 4 wickets down and Miller and Klassen, they know if one of us gets out, we are in deep trouble. That's what happened in that 2020 final as well. They were not very
Hmm.
confident about what happens if Miller gets out or Klaasen gets out. That's what happened, and India
2025.
choked them.
Yeah.
India literally grabbed them by the neck. And this time, I think with the introduction of Ian Mulder, that issue is kind of solved for them.
Basically, the bat till 8 now
Yeah,
is what they say.
means
Yeah.
they actually bat till late now. They can say we actually bat till late now. And South Africa, I think, first thing I could not believe that Klaasen is missing. That too against Afghanistan, the best player of
Klassen,
the
so Klassen
yeah,
was rested. Klassen was rested.
not rested. Actually, he
He
had
was
some
rested.
kind of
It was
very
a
small injury,
uh,
some
he had a legal
precautionary
kind of a thing, so precautionary rest. It was given to him. Yeah, he
precautionary
was
rest, which
rested.
is good only for them. Now,
Yeah.
Klaasen against Afghanistan, when I saw the best player of spin is not playing against Afghanistan, it's a big reason to worry. That to Karachi. Karachi was not looking like that 350 kind of a wicket where the absolute flat track and you go on hammering the hammer and tongs. It was kind of
Hmm.
slightly tricky, not it was a 270, 280 kind of a wicket. So I think Klaasen was out, and I was kind of surprised that okay, why he's out. Then I saw that Africa is batting first. I think okay, I think the game is in their forte now, and they batted well as well. Tony Tizorzi got out cheaply to Mohammad Nabi in
Hmm.
the fifth or the sixth over. He was looking good, but he went out, got out. Bauma played
Ryan
very
Rickelton
sensible.
got 100. Ryan Rickelton got 100. Come on, let that Mumbai Indians fan come out.
Yeah. Ryan Rickelton is in hot form, man. I think he got a double hundred, could have got a triple against Pakistan at Cape Town. Then again, got some 350, 370 runs in 7 or 8 innings in the SIT 20. I think he pretty much won them the SIT 20 there as well. Very good batting. Then again to start off the Champions Trophy with a bang, 100 against Afghanistan, which was a good 100.
You don't have to worry about Will Jack's poor form now. Ryan Rickelton
No,
is there.
yeah, Ryan Rickelton is there. Also, he keeps the wickets. Then I was very happy to see RVD get some match time after a long time. I saw him bat.
Hmm.
RVD also got a quick 50, 52 of 40 or something he got. And Aiden Markham finished it up nicely, like 56 of 39 or something he got as well. So all in all, it was a good performance from South Africa. I think they were 15 runs. Maybe they could have got more with the kind of start they had and the powerful batting lineup they had. But they could only manage 16 runs in the last 2 overs. So, anyways, 315. I think it was too much for Afghanistan to chase. And also, brilliant thing that came into my mind that means observed that South Africa, everyone was asking why did South Africa choose to bowl. That was pretty much evident from the fact that it was a very windy day in Karachi for the
Hmm.
last 2 3 days. It has been very windy. So if there are a lot of winds, the lesser are the chances of dew coming. So that
Hmm.
way the dew is out of the equation. So if the dew is out of the equation, it's always good to bat first.
Yeah, that it is. And also look at the pitch that was offered on that day. I mean, I think I can't remember who was it. Rasi van der Dussen, who came in at the halfway mark in that interview, and he said it was very similar to a Wanderers day 3 pitch. So that itself
Yeah.
shows that how at home those guys were. And yeah, Afghanistan, to be honest, they had no chance on that wicket. So basically, what you needed to do was if you had bowlers who had a lot of height, they could have generated that extra bounce like South Africa did on that wicket, and that would trouble the batters. Although Afghanistan's pacers were very skillful, but I think that lack of height. I mean, it's not something that they could have, you know, generated or something. Just saying what factors impacted in that game.
I mean,
So
Dale Steyn in the pitch review means pitch report. He said that the 6 to 8 meter mark has some cracks, and
yeah,
Kagiso
yeah,
Rabada
those cracks
will be licking. Kagiso Rabada will be licking his lips. And what happens when Kagiso Rabada
exactly.
comes into bowl in the I think it was the 10th over, means last over of the power play. Ibrahim Jadran hit him for a six over his head. That was 137.4. the speed gun, on the speed gun. Next ball, Rabada runs in 149.4. The middle stump goes flying, and he gives him a send off. And I say, okay, Rabada is back. Rabada is bowling back to bowling the usual fast stuff. And
Yeah.
after that, it was all Rabada. I mean, it was. I was very happy to see Rabada bowl quick because for the past few years it hasn't been that fiery Kagiso Rabada. But again,
Mm.
last day against Afghanistan, it was good to see him back.
Yeah. And for and for Afghanistan, it was not all doom and gloom. Ramacha, as so many times I've seen Ramacha doing this, he has been kind of a lone warrior for them. He stands at the crease, he gets those 80s, 90s, but unfortunately didn't get much support the other side.
I think Rahmat also got some runs in the chase against Pakistan in Chennai, right? Rahmat
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the one, along with their captain,
yeah,
Hashmatullah
yeah,
Saidi. Those
yeah.
two actually stitched a partnership against Pakistan.
Yeah. If you go back to 2019 also, I think even in that India game, Ramacha was there. I can't remember exactly, forget me. I have a poor memory, but uh, I don't remember if it's the India game or some other game. There also he got 60, 70. He got two, three good knocks like that. Ramacha is somebody who has been there and there, but yeah, I mean, it just doesn't
He
happen
lacks
because
support from the other end.
he lacks support from the other end. Yeah. Before Ramacha, there was their captain, former captain, Asghar Stanizai. He used to play those kind of long innings, but yeah, unfortunately, no support. But overall, I would say in the 2023 World Cup, Afghanistan showed that they are a nation that is rising. And of course, in T20 cricket, they're already there. They reached the semi-finals of the 2024 T20 World Cup. They are there. They need a bit of more encouragement, and maybe a good performance against England in the Champions Trophy would help them. Let's see what happens, but
One
it's a
one
good
thing
sign.
I could not one thing I could not understand was the introduction of Noor Ahmed. Means he was in such good form in the SAT20. I mean,
Hmm.
he was the best spinner that I saw in SAT20. I almost watched all the games there, and Noor Ahmed was by far the best spinner there this year. And you gave him to bowl in the 26th over. I could not get that thing because by then Bavuma and this guy Ryan Rickelton had already stitched a partnership over 100 runs. That is something that I could
Yeah.
not actually understand that decision. Why not bowl him? Because he has been in such good form.
And he's an attacking option. It's not like
He,
he will be there to
he's not a
contain the
continuous
runs.
bowler
He's
as
an
well.
attacking option. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was
And
definitely good.
so yeah, that is something I could not understand from the Afghanistan point of view. And South Africa, I mean, they look like a well-oiled machine. And with the introduction of Ian Mulder, it is going to solve a lot of problems for them. Because next match,
Yeah.
mostly Tony DeZorzi will make way for Heinrich Klaassen.
And
And
Bavuma
if
goes up and everybody goes up one.
yeah, and if they and they can smash their way through against this Australian bowling attack, they can smash them absolutely.
I
We
think
can see a 400 if they bat first. Because I have, if
before
you remember, game in 2023, I think it was Cape Town or Durban, either of the two, where Klaassen scored 176 or something of barely 80 balls. And Miller also scored some 90 runs of 50 balls. This is a partnership of 215, 220 of in 15 overs or something. It can still happen. I am telling you. That is a high
South
probability. 420
Africa,
I think they scored.
South there definitely. I think for me the top four before like going into the Champions Trophy was these guys only. The I mean, people would say that I'm just cashing in on the opportunity that they have won, but the winners of the four games were going to be my top four. And just
Any
for Australia, for Australia, I'm still doubtful. Maybe if Afghanistan beat Australia or
Aus-
Australia, go ahead.
Australia, only concern we had is means
The
Australia
bowling
earlier everyone had them in their ranks only. When first Pat Cummins lost, Pat Cummins and Hazelwood got out of the squad because of injury, then Mitchell Stark pulled out voluntarily. So after that only people started raising
and
questions that
Stoinis.
how are they
And Stoinis announced retirement.
Stoinis anyways was not playing. Stoinis
He
didn't
was
play
there
in
in
the
the
World Cup as
squad.
well.
He was there in
He
the
was there in the
squad.
squad, but he was not playing. Anyways, he was not a part of the 11. So let it be. But anyways, Only thing that Australia has still has question marks over their bowling attack that we will see again in the South Africa game. How they are
It's
going
going to
if
get
they are,
exposed.
yeah. But again, South Africa in chase is again a big concern. But with the introduction of Vian Mulder, I think we are going to see that change. I believe. Not sure, but I
It
believe.
should, it should, it should. I think going into the game, I felt why Stubbs is not playing. But yeah, that the
So Stubbs
Mulder
can
experiment it proved to be true.
thing is you can only play Stubbs for RVD, but RVD is the premium batter for them in the ODI circuit. At least for the last 4 or 5 years, he has been the most consistent guy. So
And
how
you
can you
need
drop
that
RVD?
balance.
Yeah,
And you
definitely.
need
And
that
a lot
balance.
like and RVD is master of long chases. He always comes good in the long playing the long innings for them. All the guys play around him. Mostly it's RVD only, and
Yeah,
he's a good player of this format. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
let's move on to the first game. We'll come to India next. So let's move on to the first
Before
game
we
now.
go there, before we go there, I have a few questions. Afghanistan, do you think they can beat England?
Afghanistan, where are they playing England? Let me check that once. Afghanistan is playing England in Lahore. Tough, man. It's going to be really tough. Only if England bat poorly. That is the only way out. Because Lahore, it is going to be a very similar wicket. Almost this. Maybe they play on the same wicket only because after 5 days the pitch is back. So I don't think Afghanistan can stop this England attack because if there is no assistance from the pitch, it's going to be extremely difficult. If England comes in the chase, I'm sorry, there is no chance. First, Afghanistan has to score a 350 or 300 plus target to stop England on a Lahore wicket. Then will be due because very Lahore is almost at the same climate as Amritsar for us, barely 30 kilometers apart those two cities. So it's going to be heavy dew after 8 p.m. in the night. It's going to be heavy dew. So it's
Hmm.
very difficult. Like 20-25 overs, we are going to bowl with the wet ball. But saying that, Afghanistan spinners have a very good experience. I mean, in this tournament or across all the teams, Afghanistan
Bowling with
spinners
the
have the
wet ball.
maximum experience in bowling with the wet ball because they have played a lot of cricket in Dubai. And Dubai and Abu Dhabi, as you know, 7 p.m. you are bowling like every ball is coming out from a bucket of water. You are dipping the ball in the bucket and you are bowling. You know that.
Yep.
So that is how it
Yes.
works there.
Bar. So bar.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think there is a chance, but again, it's in favor of England. Unless England bat very poorly, which they can. You never know.
Which they
Because
can.
you never know.
They almost did today. They almost did. It was
Because
just that one partnership
and
that took them.
and I'm telling you, the next match also their batting order will change. I can guarantee it will change. Something or the other will tweak.
Hmm.
Brendan McCullum is extremely fidgety. I mean, and for the fun part is when that guy was the captain of New Zealand, he never changed the batting order. Every day you see the same top four. Maybe Corey Anderson and no, Corey Anderson also batted six. He also
Whatever
never batted
happens,
at five.
it's that 5, 6, 7
No,
only
no, five.
changes.
Five also Grant
If there is
Elliott
any
played.
change.
Five Grant Elliott, six Corey Anderson, number seven was Luke Ronchi, eight was Daniel Vittori. The top eight was completely fixed. They never tweaked it. And I don't know when he became the coach, any team he coaches, if it is the white ball format, he keeps on changing the batting order.
Corey used to come in at 5 sometimes. I mean, I think that 34 ball 100 was when he batted at 4 or 5. I can't remember.
That I don't remember, but in the World
36
Cup I
ball
am saying.
100, 37 ball 100. In the World
I'm
Cup,
talking
it
about
never
this
changed.
World.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In the World Cup, it never changed.
So yeah,
So that's that. Huh.
he's a very unpredictable guy, and he used to keep on writing notes. If you remember in the 20 in the
I
COVID
don't
time,
know. I don't know what notes he was writing. If you remember, like there were a lot of trolls for him. Like, bro,
yeah.
what notes are you taking? How to
What
lose
notes are
this
you
game?
making?
Every game there was a
Yeah.
different batting order. I mean, that was too much.
14
That was
games,
like
14
way too
different
much.
batting orders, and every time he comes out to say, all my players are match winners. Anyone can do the job from any position.
Man, I
And
hope, man, Gambhir is doing the same thing in T20 cricket.
no,
I just hope
yeah,
he.
uh,
And yeah, yeah.
let's
Coming
keep
to
that
Gambhir, let's start. Let's start about our group. We talked enough about Group B. Let's go to Group A.
Group
India,
A.
Pakistan.
So yeah, so
Tomorrow, it's going to be a big game.
yeah, we'll start with New Zealand and Pakistan. Then we go via India, Bangladesh. Then we cover what India should do tomorrow and what
Yeah.
Pakistan should do as well. So to start off with New Zealand and Pakistan, so Pakistan wins the toss in Karachi and they choose to bowl first. Uh, which is sorry, they chose to yeah, chose to bowl first. And my only concern, their only thing was they were expecting dew. Now the fun
Hmm.
part is it was a windy day, and 3 or 4 days back only they played a game against New Zealand in the same venue, and there was no dew. There was absolutely no dew in the game of 240 or something they scored, and New Zealand comfortably chased it down in the Tri Series final against them. But they took they this time they reversed the conditions. Means reversed the situation. They put New Zealand to bat first, and New Zealand started very slow for some reason. I mean, Devon Conway, I've been telling many times, he's not in form in the last 1 year. After that injury, which happened before the IPL, if you remember, he didn't play a single game in the IPL this year. So
Hmm.
some injury has happened, and after that, Devon Conway hasn't looked the same batsman as he was. Not those consistent 40-50 runs, he's not getting those things. And Devon Conway got out cheaply. He started well, but he got out cheaply. Then Kane Williamson got an absolute snorter of a ball from Naseem Shah. He has it to the keeper. And in no time, New Zealand were like down. And also Daryl Mitchell, he just could not get away. He lost his patience and played a very low percentage shot and got caught in the circle itself. So they were like 73 for 3 or something in 15, 16 overs somehow. And then comes in Tom Latham, and people were trolling Tom Latham for getting 3 consecutive ducks prior to the Tri Series final. He came in with 3 ducks. He scored a 50 in that final. So Tom Latham comes in and he plays so well. He bats means he at least he bats against the spin so well. He plays all the sweeps on both the sides of the wicket, just like Ben Duckett does for England. And Tom Latham stitches a good partnership with Will Young, and all credits to Will Young as well. He has been so good in Asian conditions. He was
Will
good
Young
in the
wasn't
Sri
supposed
Lanka.
to even play. Will Young
Yeah,
wasn't supposed to play. Rachin's injury
yeah,
gave him that opportunity to play.
exactly.
Even in the
And
India
every
series,
time,
that happened.
yeah,
Even in the India series, that happened.
Kane Williamson
He was
was bound to play, but Kane Williamson could not play because of some injury. I think first game he played Kane Williamson, or he didn't play at all. Okay,
he didn't
whatever
play at
happened.
all.
Okay, so Williamson for there he came in for Williamson, played the became the man of the series. Then now again he comes in for Rachin Ravindra and he scores 100.
Smoked 100.
Yeah, but one thing credit to William, he has been really good against spin in Asia. If you take at least his record from the past 2-3 years, they have been really good. Whenever he plays, he scores well against the spin. That is a big positive from New Zealand for New Zealand. Williams scores 100, he gets out. Then comes in our favorite, our common favorite, Glenn Phillips, the
He
man who made
smoked
that
them.
goal.
He smoked
He
them, man. He
absolutely
just
smacked them.
smoked them.
Glenn Phillips, I mean, finally, I'm very happy to see he's getting those chances and he's converting them because I have been following Glenn Phillips from his CPL times back in prior to COVID 2018, 2019 when he
2018
was
19.
he's I think of the
He
same batch
got
as Rishi.
500 runs. He
Yeah,
got 550 or something like that in that CPL season, 2018 or
yes,
2019, I can't remember. And
2019
mind
must
you,
be.
and mind you, 550 runs in IPL is nothing. IPL is like flat tracks. You can get 600, 700. Then it's a talk of the town that you got 700 runs. 550 runs in CPL is huge. Those wickets,
550.
man, 100 runs was a winning score on those wickets.
Why I have seen 95 being defended.
90, 95 being
That too,
defended. Those
that
kind
too
of
being
wickets.
defended.
For,
That too, the chasing team
uh,
lost by 20 odd runs.
yeah, and forget about that. Forget about CPL. Maybe people can say it was low class bowling, low class batting, or whatever. You guys have seen World T20, right? The West Indian wickets, how they were. So that's the thing. So getting 550 in that CPL season was a huge deal. So that's what told me that Glenn Phillips can be a good batter.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
normally, if you see any aggressive batsman who tongs those sixes, generally they are good on good batting wickets where the ball comes onto the bat very nicely. Glenn Phillips is good in those conditions, but the plus point for him is he's good on slow wickets also against the
Definitely.
slower bowlers. That is the USP that Glenn Phillips has.
I think his short base and extreme high core strength, just something like
Yeah.
Brendan McCullum used to have.
Yes.
He's, I mean, replica of Brendan McCullum in body wise, and he hits them harder than Brendan McCullum. I mean, he absolutely murders the ball. The butcher slash, if you say wood
Butcher
chops,
slash. Yes.
is, yeah, something like a wood chop. He goes extremely hard, especially in those cross-batted shots. So that is really good. Very happy to see him get some runs and good runs, and he's winning the games for his team. And I hope finally he will get the games in IPL this time.
He has to.
He
He has
always,
to. So we talked about this, right? When we previewed the auctions, also we were saying that Glenn Phillips is a batsman that everybody should go for. I don't know why people don't go for Glenn Phillips. And like let's say for example, Sunrisers had him. Of course, they had four other guys, so he couldn't play. But yeah, this time GT made the right call by taking him, and he's going to prove it in this season for sure. They
yeah.
they they let go of
Ahmedabad
Miller.
is a good wicket.
Glenn Phillips is going to they let go of Miller, right? He's going to do the job for
Same
Miller.
task for them. Definitely, he's going to
Same
do
task.
the same task for them.
But one thing though, in chases, I don't know how good he will be. Glenn Phillips. He's good, but we haven't seen those kind of innings in chases. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Anyways,
So that
then coming
that's
to the
that. And
Pakistan
no, no,
batting,
no, no, no. I have more points. Let's talk about Pakistan's bowling. Bro, what is happening over there? Abrar Ahmed really bowled well when that partnership was on. I think they missed a trick over here. The same thing that we talked about Noor Ahmed in the Afghanistan South Africa game. Bro, he's a wicket taker. Why are you using him like a defensive bowler? Same thing happened to Abrar. He held back, Rizwan held back Abrar for so long, and then at that point it was too late. He cannot contain those runs. He's not a Jadeja that can, bowl flat trajectories and uh, cut the flow of runs. He's someone
definitely.
who loops it up, and that's where they missed a trick.
In Rizwan's captaincy is beyond my his captaincy
Jesus
and his,
Simons.
yeah, his captaincy and his post match speeches are beyond me. I mean, I don't have a any kind of reasoning I can give for that. I mean, in the press conference, how can you come out and say that I was expecting 270 and I never expected 320? That's why we lost. I mean, why? What kind of a captain will say that? Bro, your team conceded 120 runs in the last 10 overs. New Zealand were at 200 for 3. I think William was there, 200 for 3 at the end of 40 overs. In the next over, only
Four
that
four.
guy. In the
William got
41st
out
over.
191 for four.
Okay. So, what? Yeah. So,
Phillips and Latham were there.
Tom Latham stretched like 120 runs again against today. Phillips already smashed you like 1.5 weeks back in Lahore, I think it was. He smashed you for 130 runs in the last 10 overs there. Again 110, 120 here. I mean, what kind of preparations you people are doing? And you are
3-0.
playing
They
at
lost
home.
three games straight. They lost three games
And
straight to New
convincingly.
Zealand at home.
Convincingly.
Convincingly, yeah.
Not even at one point it looked like Pakistan is going to win. I mean, what kind of preparations you people are doing? And you cried so much about this being this is our home, this is our fortress, all these things you are saying. And you have no preparations, you have no plans how to counter this. And the same batsman is haunting you time and time again within a short span of time. You have absolutely no clue about him. Okay, it can be a case of a psychological advantage that he has over you. That can be a case. But you are not trying only anything.
Yep,
That is, I mean,
pretty much.
Pakistan. I mean, it's sad to see them in such kind of a state.
chasing 321 in the power play. If you are 22 for
22
2,
for 2.
first 10 overs 22 for 2. What the hell? How are you going to win the game? I mean,
And the thing
this is the
is,
point that I was making earlier in the video. The difference between Australia's run chase and Pakistan's run chase. I
and
mean,
thing
what?
is, the ball is not. It was not like it is swinging somewhere like in you are playing in England that the ball is swinging like 3 degrees, 4 degrees swing is there, or James Anderson is bowling. I agree. Matt Henry is very good, extremely good. One of the maybe one of the finest bowlers currently with the new ball. That is for sure. I agree, but it's not like it is swinging that much. You're not even trying. South Sakil, I mean, this is something that needs to be highlighted, called out against Babar Azam. Okay, you are now it is pretty clear after that guy Sayam Ayub was ruled out that you are going to open for Pakistan in the Champions Trophy. And I see in wide ball at least there is no clear difference in number three and your top three is basically the same thing only. Okay, if early wicket falls, you will come in. Now you come in, you are also you are an opener in the T20 circuit. You have been making your case as an opener for the last 4 5 years. Okay, so it is nothing new for you facing the new ball. And mind you, you are the senior batter here, and you come out, and South Shakil is coming out of compulsion. He is actually a four, number five kind of a batsman. Because of some issues, injury issues in your team, he's batting number three. Now, because of that Fakar Jaman problem, means injury issue, he was forced to open. Who is the one who should have taken strike in such a crucial
Babar.
game? No, Babar Azam, but he sent South Shakil to take the strike. And that is so timid. That is something that should be called out. I mean, what is the management doing? This is not something that should be permitted, right? And then Shaul Shakil, I think he scored, he was of 2 of 15 or 16, then he got a streaky boundary, then he got out. 2 of 6 of 18 he scored. And that was pretty much the power play. That was the story of the power play. Rizwan could not get up. See, Rizwan, we all know Rizwan is means how can I sum it up? He's a very good player of the leg side. He can drag the ball means from like fourth, fifth, sixth stump to to score somewhere in the mid wicket square leg region. That is his jailbreak shot. His go-to shots every time. But here, when Matt Henry is bowling out swingers and William O'Rourke, he's pretty similar of the Morny Morkel build. He's like 6'4",
Yeah,
6'5",
William.
and
Ball coming
he's
in from
look
a high arm
at
action.
very high arm action and very high speeds as well. In the high 140s, he was bowling that night. So
And he's somebody who can trouble India. Let me
he
tell you
already
that also.
troubled India in the Bangalore Test, if you remember. He already troubled when the ball was moving. He
Even in
troubled.
white ball. Even in
Yeah,
white ball.
that is what I'm saying. So when quality bowling comes in, you can't play those cross-batted shot against the new ball. So that is something that should have been taken care of. And again, Rizwan falls to a brilliant catch from Glenn Phillips, probably the catch of the tournament. Then after that, why are you sending Fakar Zaman in when you know he can't run? Babar is not able to hit boundaries. He often relies on running between the wickets, and Fakar Zaman can't run. Why are you sending him out?
You know what I would have done? I would have sent Fakar Zaman to open because I know Fakar
No,
Zaman
he
won't be
can't
able to
open.
bat long. Oh,
The
couldn't have
problem,
opened.
he could
Yeah,
not
yeah, I'm
open because
sorry.
he
My
had
bad.
a time bound of 25 minutes
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
He
yeah.
had to wait.
I remember. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, he couldn't
So
have
that
opened.
was a
Yeah.
problem they had, which is fine. You know the problem. Then what was after the power play? Why will you send him? When
Uh,
in the power play, okay, that could have been a decision that only two players are outside of the circle, so he can capitalize the power play even if he can't run. But after the power play, why will you send him?
and that too when you had to, kind of rotate, strike, and build momentum in the game.
I mean,
Because New Zealand was
absolutely
not giving away
clueless.
easy boundaries, right? New Zealand
Yeah,
wasn't giving
absolutely
away easy
clueless.
boundaries. Yeah.
Clueless from Pakistan, to be honest. And Babar Azam, I mean, if anything, that was if you had asked me what is the worst ODI innings I have seen, this will rank two. Rank one, you already know what I would say. So this is a rank two, definitely. 64 of 91 in the chase of 320. at your home, conditions are not that tough. There are three new bowlers they have. William O'Rourke, William O'Rourke, Bracewell, and Glenn Phillips is not even a bowler. You're not even taking chances on Glenn Phillips. I mean, it's poor cricket, poor planning, poor cricket. Agha Salman
Yeah,
came
I
in, he
mean,
played some good shots, and he
I
was
think the
looking good.
scorecard the scorecard looked actually, to be honest, I think the scorecard looks really good for Pakistan that they lost only by 60. But the
By
margin
60
was
runs. Yeah,
so huge. The margin was so huge if you look at it. If you look at
exactly,
the actual game, these two guys, Salman
exactly.
Agha and Khushdil Shah, those two guys, they played really well. That's why you look at this inflated score. And at the point when Khushdil was playing, the game was already over. New Zealand also were like, okay, you do whatever.
Yeah, you
That
can
kind
score
of
some runs.
phase it was.
They were also
Yeah.
trying new things. They were also
Yeah.
trying things, which is fine.
Glenn Phillips
And
bowled
also,
9 overs. He won't bowl
yeah,
9 overs in a good game. So
against a good side. Yeah, that is pretty
yeah,
much it. And
that's the
I mean, Pakistan means I can't understand their approach. Means all of your top four batters now Imamul Haq comes in, and the top four, the means the prescribed top four, none of them even barely strike at 80, 80, 85. Their career strike rate in ODI cricket.
it's a huge problem for them. I mean, the moment Saim Ayub was not there, so Pakistan initially were one of the favorites going in because they had Saim Ayub, they had Fakhar Zaman. So you add these two guys along with, you have a Salman Agha, you have a Khushdil Shah, okay, you have Babar and Rizwan who can provide the stability. All of a sudden, it looks like a very good batting order. But you remove those two guys who are those quick run getters, and it looks very timid to be quite honest. I think in
Definitely.
the previous video that we did, in the comments somebody asked who was going to be another good team. There I said, I think Pakistan is somebody that we can watch out for. I feel so embarrassed, why did I write it, because now Fakar is also not there. So it's done.
Yeah.
Pakistan, I don't see a comeback for them.
Means
But
logically they can't. Logically they can't. But if something that they call Kudrat
Kudrat
ka
ka
nizam
nizam,
or something
they have
happens,
to,
then that's a different issue altogether. Like they came
yeah.
into play here and against New Zealand. New Zealand scored 400. Rain came in. They smacked 225 overs. They won the game by DLS method. So Kudrat ka nizam, if happens, nobody can
But
stop them.
even for that 25 overs
Fakar
200
Zaman
they
scored.
got, who got those
Fakar
hits?
Zaman scored
Fakar Zaman.
126. 126 he got up, man. Class hitting. I was in the stadium. Class hitting.
Yeah.
He scored some 11 sixes or something. Means it
Yep.
was such a
He's a
treat to watch that
monster.
game.
He's a monster of a batter, bhai.
Yeah,
He's a very good
yeah,
batter. Just
definitely.
I will be very honest, just because he's from Pakistan and Pakistan doesn't win too many games, Fakar Zaman is not rated that highly in ODI cricket the way he should have
Definitely.
been.
Yeah,
And we
he
know
could have
Pakistan
been
cricket
the,
and politics, how they work, right? So
I mean, he could have been the second cricketer to have two ODI double centuries, right? Before Quinton de Kock did that thing, if you remember. After that, that
yeah,
rule
yeah,
came
I
into
know.
that you can't,
Fake
that
fielding
rule
rule.
was all fake fielding rule came in. So, yeah, Quinton de Kock that did him dirty.
He scammed him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so that's what. But Fakar Zaman is a good player, that being
yeah, yeah,
said.
definitely,
They are going to miss his
definitely. And
services. They're surely
Pakistan,
going to miss.
Pakistan is reduced 50%, man. I feel it because without him,
Definitely.
how are they gonna do it? And
I mean,
what I'm hearing is, I'm hearing some news that Babar Azam is going to be rested for India's game.
what is rested? Call it dropped, man.
I mean,
It's
dropped,
clearly.
rested.
But
Probably
who will they play?
Kamran Gulam might play.
I mean, again, the problem now. Okay, let's go to India now because there are a set of problems which I am wary about. Not like I'm not afraid of the Pakistan team, to be honest, because they don't. Because as Saurav Ganguly famously said back in 2017 Champions Trophy first game, you can see the result of this game and you will sorry Ramiz Raza himself called that you can see the gulf between the two sides. That still stands. So now coming to India versus Bangladesh. I mean, okay, you can give a give your hats off to the team selection. We were talking about why five spinners and all these things. What the hell was that pitch, man? What the hell was
Yeah.
that pitch? I mean,
But
when Sidhu Paji was
hold
saying,
on, hold on, hold on,
Sidhu,
hold on to
Sidhu
your
Paji,
uh, hold on to your thought. Let me say one thing. I expected, okay, this is the maximum this kind of a pitch that we are gonna get. But even then, five spinners is a bit too much. I'll tell you why. Because four, you won't play four.
okay,
You will play three.
yeah, that is fine. But in these kind of conditions, even playing four spinners is not a bad thing. Tell me, this is kind of a dust bowl that we get in Dhaka or a Chittagong. Or maybe Chennai, not even Chennai, Nagpur, we get these kind of bowling wickets. If you go back in years, Nagpur, when we prepare these kind of spin tracks, we get this kind of track in Nagpur.
Hmm.
I mean, what
They
the
did
hell
three
was that
Nagpur
pitch?
wicket.
What the hell was that pitch? And what is ICC doing, man? Means all these years we have read that ICC regulates the pitch conditions in the all means in the ICC tournaments, and this is the pitch that you go and get in Dubai first game. That too, I mean, I hope it is a good game, a good pitch against Pakistan because there will definitely it will be a fresh wicket against Pakistan. But again, if it turns out to be this kind
If
of a wicket, it's
this
going
this
to be
was a fresh wicket,
extremely
man.
difficult.
This was a fresh wicket only.
Yeah,
I told you
means
now.
you
I told you right. There was one complete season of ILT20 was played over here, and there's definitely. So I was making that point of repeat pitches, but not so much repeat pitches. But yeah, these kind of wickets where they've been used so much that they're tired, and it's going to be hell to pay. So this is the pitch that we need, I would say, in every game. Just hope, just hope that dew doesn't come in, and when dew doesn't come in, India is
you
bowling.
the problem with dew is dew will come in the best case also around 8 p.m. Dubai time. 8 p.m. Dubai means 9:30 India time. By 9:30 India time, you would have already crossed 45 overs in the second innings also. 5 overs, it won't make that much of a case for you.
At best 10 overs, I would say. Let's say there is a slow over rate or something,
Yeah,
5 to 10
10
overs
overs.
is the period.
But
But
if
no,
India
10
is bowling
overs,
and see, if Ravi Jadeja and Akshar Patel are bowling from two ends, there is no way in the world that you can get a problem of slow over rate.
hmm.
Ravi Jadeja bowls overs in one and a
No,
half minutes. How can you
that
get
is
a
India
problem
now.
of slow over rate?
That is India now. But India would be batting at that point if there is a slow over rate. What will you do? It's on
Then
the
it is good
opposition,
for
right?
us.
It's not on you.
Then it's
It's
good
how
for
is
us.
it?
Right?
Oh, yeah. In
Then
that
it's
case,
good
it
for
is
us,
that.
right? It's good for us. Let the dew come in. Let them go with the slow over rate. So that is a very
No, no. How is
difficult.
it? How is it good for us? It is bad for us, right? If we are batting
Dew
first
comes in, it
and
is good. हाँ, if अरे भाई,
we
that's
will
what I'm
if when we are batting first, see when we are batting first, if the inning stretches, okay, let's say it is supposed to finish at 6 p.m. IST, it finishes off at let's say 6:45 p.m. IST. The break doesn't get adjusted, right? You still have a 40-minute break. Then India comes on to bowl. Sorry, India comes on to this bowl, and yeah,
then also
the game
then
stretches. It's a
that's
problem, right? We have to bowl
what I'm
15 overs in the due.
that's what I'm saying. It then also it's a very slim chance with Ravi Jadeja and
Slim
Akshar
chance.
Patel bowling for you. You can't get a slow over it. It's a very very slim chance. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, back to this India thing, India game. So what happens is India choose to bat. Bangladesh choose to bat first, and it seems like a very weird decision, keeping in mind that all the out of 20 matches, 14 games have the team chasing has won. So Bangladesh start off pretty poorly. They were down to 26 for 3 first. Then suddenly I see 35 for 5 and Akshar Patel is on a hat trick. And Rohit Sharma drops the easiest of catches and he beats the ground in frustration. Very unfortunate for both Rohit as well as Akshar. That would
Yeah,
have
we
been
could see his
such chances.
frustration.
Yeah, such chances don't come. And after that is my problem. Again, why doesn't Rohit Sharma go for the kill? I mean, at that point of time, you could have brought in a Harshit Rana who was bowling well. Harshit Rana bowled really well in the power play. He corrected all lot of his mistakes. If you see his pitch map, I mean, maybe you can get it from Stats Guru or Cricinfo. Maybe it would show up. If you see his pitch map in the power play, he was bowling really nicely, very consistent lengths. He got a wicket as well and bowled really tight in tandem with Shami. Or a Shami
He
for
bowled the
another,
hard way.
yeah, it- because the wicket is stopping a bit, right? So that kind of a bounce at pace, it becomes difficult for the batter. So, I mean, what was the point? After that, they stitch a partnership of 154. 31 overs they stretch the partnership. And that is a, mind you, it is a very good scoring rate against the quality of spinners. And that wicket in Dubai, we have Jadeja, we have Akshar Patel, we have Kuldeep Yadav, three of the finest spinners. And
Kuldeep
they scored
created
only.
one chance. Kuldeep, in that partnership, there was one time the Kuldeep created a
Yeah,
chance.
that
Hardik
I
dropped an easy catch.
that that I agree. But my problem is after getting a chance to reduce them to 35 for 6, why didn't we go for the kill? That is my problem.
Yeah. And you could see there was kind of a waiting game being played that okay, let us force the batsman to make a mistake. Could have been a bit proactive there, but what I felt is so this is just my feeling. India saw okay, we can wrap Bangladesh up quite quickly, but what about our batting? We also want some runs, so give us some batting. Maybe
Okay.
India just stretched there. It's just my thinking. Just kidding, not saying seriously India would have thought this, but yeah, India
That
kind
is
of let go,
something.
let go. India let go. Let's be honest, India kind of let go there.
That is something. That
They,
is one concern. That is my first point of concern. Then the second point of concern comes in when we start batting. So ideally, it is expected in a desert kind of a situation. After the nightfall, it cools down, and the wicket is slightly easier to bat. Not dew is very late, but it is bit easier to bat with the cooling conditions. That looked like when Rohit Sharma was batting, and that happens almost all the days he bats. You see him, it seems like it's a very good batting wicket. He plays them so effortlessly. Rohit Sharma falls in the last ball of the power play or something. That last over only he falls, 10th over, and comes in Virat Kohli. And Virat Kohli again looks out of touch. Sad to say this, but this is the sad truth. I mean, the best part of Virat Kohli's batting, if you have seen him over the years, was his ability to maneuver the field and rotate strike. And he completely looked stuck. I mean, there was a point when he was 7 of 19 or 7 of 20. He was zero. He got off the mark, I think, on the fifth or the sixth ball. It was so tiring to see him bat in that way. I mean, I have never seen Virat Kohli struggle so much.
yep, me neither.
And
It
this
was very
and this
sad.
is the same problem. This is the same problem that we saw in the two games at the World Cup. One against South Africa, when the ball was turning a bit or a lot against Keshav Maharaj and Tabrez Shamsi. Again at Ahmedabad. This is a
Yep.
very big concern. This is my second point of concern. Then Virat Kohli struggled his way to 22. He got out. Means it was a good ball from Rishad. And I mean, and his problem against leg spin has been, or any kind of spin has been, he is not able to pick the length. Let's be honest, he is not able to pick the length in
Yeah,
the
I
last
mean,
1 year
he.
at least.
So the core thing is he's not using his feet enough against the spin which he used to do back in the day, and the reason why he's not being able to use his feet is because he's unable to judge the length.
That
So
is the
that's how
problem.
it is.
That is a huge problem. I mean, and I hope that
He's
thing
not reading them
got
from the
fixed.
hand. He's reading them from the surface. That's the
Then
gist.
because that is something that he's going against his own method. Every time, if you see, even if in the last videos, in the past videos, at least prior to COVID-19, even at the non-striker end, he used to watch the wrist of the bowler, especially of the spinners at the time of release. How is the release going? He was so much attentive to those things, those small details. And now, I mean, it's a very sad state of things. Then at number four, Shreyas Iyer came in. I think he tried to put too much power into some shots, got out cheaply. Akshar Patel, same thing, hit a beautiful boundary, got out cheaply. And then again, my second point of concern, the second guy we have, KL Rahul. I mean, KL Rahul had a kind of a mixed day. He dropped, I think, two chances. He caught two catches of Akshar Patel. Then he dropped two, missed a stumping of Kuldeep Yadav's bowling. Review, okay, let it be. And he comes out to bat with almost 90 runs to get in 20-21 overs. And he starts off horribly again. Again, the same problem. He also just doesn't find a way to rotate strike. At one point of time, he popped up one into the air. He was batting at 9 of 19. The 20th delivery, he popped it straight down the throat of the deep mid wicket fielder. Luckily, that guy dropped the catch. And I think we were like 67 or 65 runs away from that at that point.
Hmm.
And this is again a problem. This is something that needs to be called out. I mean, I don't know why this keeps on happening. And after that, I think he played reasonably well. He got some loose deliveries as well down the leg. He put them out. And Shubman Gill, people will say that he played slow and all these things. But if you see how the batters around him batted, then you will realize the value of his knock here. Okay, I also
Definitely,
say
that is the
I
yeah,
I
yeah. I
also
mean,
think 3 overs they took more, means it should have ended by the 43rd, 44th over at max. But I mean, if you see, and Bangladesh, kudos to Bangladesh bowling attack, they bowled really well. They created not many chances. One chances they created, another dropped. It got dropped in the deep by Jack Early of KL Rahul. Otherwise, they bowled really well. They gave nothing away till the after India crossed 200. They started bowling bit loose because after that it was a lost game, lost cause only. But Bangladesh bowled really well, and this kind of bowling attack is going to trouble anyone on these kind of pitches because Mustafizur is a Qatar master. Tanzim also bowls hard into the wicket. Taskin Ahmad was also good, and the spinners were good only. Rishad gets a lot of bounce because he's tall, like 6'1", 6'2" he is, and Mehdi Hasan bowls those undercutters.
yeah, and they would have been very disappointed with what Fish delivered, Mustafizur Rahman. I mean, Rohit Sharma absolutely smoked him in the beginning,
Power
which
play.
kind of shook him completely. And Fizz is somebody
That's
with
true.
so much of experience. You would have expected Fizz to be the standout bowler on this kind of a wicket, especially. But he
I
absolutely was
mean,
not on the mark.
I mean that is the biggest problem now. I'll tell you what. Okay, we won the game. We are getting expected results from all those players, but we are not getting the expected result from the player we bet on the most. That is Virat Kohli here. If you go back to the
Hmm.
23 World Cup, what template we had? Rohit Sharma is going. Rohit Sharma will smack them in the power play, and after what at till the point he bats, and Virat Kohli was our insurance guy. He was the bank, right? That he's going to bat the entire 50 overs and keeps the game running. And he
Yeah,
on 8 out of 10 days he scored well. I think he got a
9 out
duck
of
in the
10 days he
England.
scored.
I think he failed in the England game. He got a duck or something. Yeah, he got a duck in the England game when the pitch was difficult at Lucknow. You went to watch that game, right?
Yes,
And again in the South Africa game, Shreyas Iyer jailed him, bailed him out
build us up.
because Shreyas Iyer played those got that run a ball 80 runs, and then that entirely changed the complexion of the game. Australia match final again the same problem. They
But
just got
he maintained his strike rate. He got close to
he
100.
didn't get maintain his strike rate. He was at 18 of 18 the power play. After that,
After that, yeah, yeah. But
then
okay, that's a
after that
different issue. But overall, he
60
was
balls,
scoring at above 100.
yeah, yeah, 60 balls you score 35 runs. What strike rate are you maintaining?
No, no, not
Okay, so
60 balls 35. He scored,
but
he was 54 or 57, I think so.
53 of 65 he scored.
50.
18 ball, 8 ball 18, remove that. How much do you get? 35. 35 of the remaining balls. 35 of 57. Then what you were saying? He was
No, no, I
also
don't
he
think it
will
was that bad. It was,
I am tell I remember that match ball by ball, brother. I can't be wrong. I remember that game ball by ball, moment by moment. That etched in my that is
54
etched
or
in my
63.
memory. Yeah, so that's what I'm
Same here.
saying. So
I was there live.
so yeah, so you know the amount of disappointment I still have in my heart for that. Nine. Okay, so that's what
He
I'm saying. He,
so
I
so
mean,
it was
this
he got 54 of 63. If you remove 18 of 8, it's like 36 of
36
36
or
of 55.
55, yeah, which is not Virat Kohli thing, right?
Not Virat Kohli thing,
It's
but not that bad either, I
barely.
would say, considering we were three down. Oh, three down? Yeah, three down. So
But but the thing is, that is the problem. That is still the problem. This is the
it
problem
is.
that we need to tackle. And if the pitches stay like this, I don't see this problem getting solved. This is my
It
biggest
is
concern.
something.
This is my big, because Rohit Sharma is going to smack them. If he stays till whatever time he plays, he is going to smack them. That is for sure. If he gets out cheaply, then that is a different problem. But the part is, the part A is working fine, but the part B is breaking. So that way, it's a simple thing. What I can sum up is, Rohit Sharma will lead you to victory. Means he will lead you in the direction of the victory. But Virat Kohli is the man who is going to carry your team to the victory. That was the template in the 23 World Cup, because he batted the
That it
entire
is.
time. But this time, this thing doesn't look like that. With these kind of wickets, if the wickets were good, then it could have been a different story altogether. That is not helping the team.
No, I think that's why you have to create that balance. If it is not working, then you have to go for a different strategy. Simple as that. Like right. So the only reason why in 2023 World Cup Rohit Sharma was able to go bonkers was because Virat Kohli was, there that he will be holding the innings together. And the only reason why Virat Kohli was able to play that kind of a role was because Rohit Sharma was going bonkers at the top, right? It was that kind of a combination which was working for us. Now the thing is, if you are saying that okay, Virat Kohli won't be able to do that on these kind of a wickets, as per the stats that we have already seen on those kind of wickets, then would it even make sense for Rohit Sharma to go absolute bonkers? It's a question that you
But,
have to ask to the
but
team
the
management,
thing,
right?
but the thing is, what is the means? Rohit Sharma is not at fault here. He's batting well. He is
He's
getting
not.
what he has been asked to do. I mean, he got a quick 40 of 41 of 30 or 32 balls, which is good only. Given
Yeah,
the
yeah. Mm.
circumstances, the way wicket was behaving, it's a very good knock. I mean, that is giving you a head start. He is doing
It
his
is.
role. If the other guy is not able to do his role, is it fair enough to ask him not to do his role?
It is definitely.
That's
Why not? Because so look. See, just hear me out. What I'm going to say right now. Rohit Sharma playing aggressive cricket or Virat Kohli playing the role of an anchor is not because out of nowhere Rohit Sharma had a dream that I want to score, quickly. I don't care if I get out. And it's not that Virat Kohli had a dream that I want to play the role of an anchor. It was because they sat together, the entire team management, and they decided that this is how the roles are going to be divided, and this is how we are going to play as a team. Right now, if it's not working out, if it doesn't matter part A is problem or part B is the problem, the thing is the team has to function. Then and you have to find the way in which the team will function the best, right? If it's a big call that I'm going to say right now. If you think Virat Kohli is the problem and Virat Kohli is not getting runs, you can't trust Virat Kohli, then drop Virat Kohli. Simple. But if you can't do that, maybe because he is Virat Kohli and you have that big of a name in him, then if you are accommodating him and you are expecting that he won't score, then the problem is with the captain, right? With the captain and the coach. I would blame them, right? You are saying that he won't score, but you are still playing him. Why are you playing him? I would ask him simply, I would ask that simple question. And okay, if you are expecting him to fail, then you switch roles, right? You ask Rohit Sharma to play longer innings because he is more. See, everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, right? We know on these kind of wickets, Rohit Sharma is our best player. Let's be very honest. You take out any format, whenever the pitch assists spin, Rohit Sharma is definitely our best player. No matter
at
how
least in the
good
last
Virat
five
Kohli's
six
stats are.
years. At
Yeah,
least in the
I mean in
last five
Test
six years.
cricket, One Day cricket doesn't matter, right? Now you have to value your best player, right? Why was Virat Kohli given this role? Think of it this way. because we know Virat Kohli is our best player in India, hands down. Nobody comes close, right? That's why he was given that role. Now you have to move it in a way that Rohit Sharma is our best player. Now let's protect Rohit Sharma, right? So that is how the evolution has to happen within the team. You cannot keep, one this thing, one role, and keep on carrying it for the rest of your life. I think that's how the evolution has to happen. Now Rohit Sharma, it's not like Rohit Sharma is a muck, right? Rohit Sharma has had 200s. He has scored three 200s in one day cricket. He's no newbie to playing longer innings. Do that. Give that role. Maybe play Kohli as a floater. And if you think Kohli cannot score, then drop him, play somebody else. We have enough
Yeah, but
talent, right?
we have enough talent, but I think this is a very short tournament, and I don't see these kind of means uh, this kind of a problem coming in.
No, but
Means this
then
kind
I
of a
would say,
problem being fixed. Means this kind of a step being taken. So that's all
yeah.
I'd say.
So if you're not dropping him, then okay, Virat Kohli is not. Maybe he's not going to give me those quick runs. Then let me do one thing. I will say, okay, Shubman, bro, you take the charge. I will also try to score quickly, but I won't go hammer and tongs in every ball. Maxwell over. Let's go back to 2023 World Cup. That Maxwell over, right? He had a six, he had a four. If that situation, same thing happens here, in 2023, he had the license to go after Maxwell again in the third ball, and nobody could tell him a word. And I would defend Rohit Sharma till death if somebody tells me that Rohit Sharma was at fault for going after Maxwell, because that was his role. That was his role, that he will go after Maxwell. Now, if he changes his role here, that okay, Kohli, I need to protect him. He cannot give me those long hundreds. I am the one who is the best batter of my country, and I will play long. If he takes up that role, if he gets 10 of an over, he goes out playing a poor shot in the in the third ball,
In the
then I
process,
will
yeah.
question him, right? So that's how the evolution has to happen.
Hmm.
And the team
But
management is there for what? It is there for doing these kind of things only, no? It is very
yeah,
simple for me. I mean,
I mean,
very
the
very
thing,
simple
the
for us to say. They have to keep these things in mind. That's the point.
yeah, all I'd say is this is Virat Kohli has a very similar career pattern like Ricky Ponting back in the days. Insane peak, like they averaged 80 or something in their peaks for like 4 5 years on the trot. If you remember Ricky Ponting from 2003 to 2008 in those two World Cups, they won. Australia won everything. 2009, in fact, when they won the Champions Trophy in Africa. So that period of time, Ricky Ponting scored some 30 hundreds. 30, not 30, 25 hundreds in ODIs. So, and some 20, 25 hundreds in test match cricket as well. 20 hundreds in test cricket as well. Insane peak. And again, after that, they just could not accept that, okay, I am not the main guy anymore. That is, I think, I see the similar traces in Virat Kohli's career as well. He just can't accept that, okay, I am not anymore the enforcer that can be a Shubman Gill or a Shreya Iyer coming in or anyone new that is coming in into the team. I can be the accumulator. Okay, I have maybe my shots are limited now, not like the earlier days when I could smack any bowler like I want. I think he has to accept that role in his mind, which Sachin Tendulkar did, if you remember. After the tennis elbow injury, Sachin Tendulkar became the accumulator and he scored a lot of runs, not in the same
He
fashion as
scored
we
tons
used to
of
see.
runs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he scored, I think, 12 hundreds in the 2010, 2010, 2010 um, year.
including a double hundred, the first ever
Double
double
hundred.
hundred in men's ODI
Exactly.
cricket.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So that's how good he was. So if he realized and he adjusted his game accordingly for the last 4 5 6 years of his career and led the team to glory, I think Virat can also do that. I believe that is
Yeah, I
something
mean,
that is my means my observation. I'm not sure whether I'm right or wrong, but this is one observation because the Virat Kohli and Ricky Ponting have very similar career traits, means personality traits as well, and
definitely
batting
very
career
close.
traits as well. So Ricky Ponting also had this issue. Means in the last few years, if you see like 2010, 2011, 2012, when he retired finally, he barely had 100 in a year. I think he scored 100 against us in Ahmedabad in that game, the quarterfinal. After
Quarterfinal,
that, I think after that I think he only scored 100 against us when Michael Clark scored some 300 runs or something in that series. Last
2012
end of
series.
2011-12 series. That's it. After that, Ricky Ponting retired only.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm
And
trying to say.
and I think you may be very right here. I mean, yeah, look, it's very hard for me to say that maybe Virat Kohli is over in ODI cricket, especially because he has been a killer in this format, to be very honest. What I feel the problem is, it is purely lack of, match practice. So, what I have seen in Virat Kohli's career, till the time he's playing, he is scoring very good runs. He's batting beautifully. As soon as there is a break, he doesn't, you know, look the same after the break, to me at least. The biggest change, and now we also have the stats to back it up, so people are easily, throwing it away that okay, last 5 years Test cricket, Virat Kohli has done nothing. In last 2 3 years, one day cricket, Virat Kohli, these are the numbers. He's not playing as he used to be. But if you remember the first ODI series after COVID, okay, I remember two players, Virat Kohli and KL Rahul, two players who have never been the same post-COVID and pre-COVID. Others, there might be a lot of others, but these are the two people who
Achha,
are very much
got
on
it.
top of my mind.
Australia series.
Australia
Australia series,
series.
you are saying.
Okay. KL Rahul to himself, he himself has told this in an interview that I thought my career is over. I was very afraid to pick up the bat as well. After that, never the same player. Before 2020, that COVID break, KL Rahul was a player who at will, you know, he could control his game. Okay. KL Rahul is not scoring, he's playing slow, which was intentional. He had it under his control. That okay, now I want to
He
attack,
could
now I want to. He could
exactly,
do. It was just that he could do, he could score if he want, he can score a 20 ball 50, 14 ball 50. But he was
definitely.
curbing those instincts. But
Yeah, because
after COVID, it became a necessity for him. It was not like he was controlling himself. We never saw a 14 ball 50 from him after that, after COVID. Correct me if I'm wrong.
no, that is a problem. I mean, with KL Rahul and Virat Kohli, both this thing happened,
And
and
Virat Kohli.
Even
Let
Virat
me
Kohli, I'd
complete.
say,
Let me complete the chain of thought. What I was talking about Virat Kohli. The very first ODI series, we traveled to Australia. We were chasing 375 or something. Maxwell got 100. I can't remember who else got 100.
Steve
370
Smith
the
got a
total.
hundred. Steve Smith got 100. Maxwell
Uh,
scored of 60 of 30 or something like this.
yeah. Kohli in that run chase got 75 or 77, that something like that, of 80 82 balls.
Run
Strike
a
rate
ball it
wise,
was
okay.
almost.
Almost unable. Strike rate wise, bhai, but and people were celebrating. Okay, Virat Kohli is this. Virat Kohli got 80. At that point only, I criticized Virat Kohli. Bro, you're chasing 375. Run a ball. What's gonna help me? So from that point till 2 years, 2 3 years, I can't remember the exact time. And Kohli then had a lean patch in 2022 where he was unable to score any runs in any format. In that IPL, what a disaster he had, if you remember. So at that point of time, people started noticing that Virat Kohli is not scoring runs. But Virat Kohli had an ODI average of 43 between those 2 years, but he was not scoring any match-winning runs. I got brutally trolled by many when I pointed this out. But this problem has happened post-COVID. So the core point that I was trying to say is Virat Kohli is good when he's continuously playing matches. The fact that there were only 6 one-day international games played, uh, okay, nine if you count the South Africa tour where all the seniors were not there
Really?
right after the 2023 World Cup.
Exactly. They didn't
Six
play.
one-day internationals, of which Virat Kohli was
Even,
available for five.
yeah,
That is the reason why he's not scoring runs.
I double down on this point of yours and I completely agree to this because there are two instances now I'll give you. What happens that 74 of 80, I think exact the numbers were. Then after that also I think he got a 50. either in Sydney only or in the Canberra game, the last one, which we won. Okay. Then we travel to Adelaide. He gets a beautiful 75, in which he got run out. The first innings, he got run out. He was batting. He got run out with Josh Hazelwood ran him out. There was miscommunication between him and Rahane. Josh Hazelwood and Lyon ran him out on the non-striker end. After that, he came back to India for his child's birth. After that, India played the next game in Chennai against England when
England.
Joe Root got that double-handed. Now roll back your memory. You get the two instances when he got out and his reactions there against Moeen Ali, if you
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly
I
right.
remember
So,
very clearly.
and that was a very good batting wicket at Chennai. The batting wicket was so good that England put on some 600 runs. The pitch curator got fired after that game. The pitch curator got fired. The pitch
And
got
we
a
know,
new curator
and
for
we
the
know
next
the
game.
pitch that we got in the next game in Chennai itself.
Yeah,
Two consecutive
exactly.
games were played in Chennai.
Exactly. So that's what. So after that, he was again not the same player. Exactly this thing. Again, this same thing. In South Africa, after the T20 World Cup, he looked really at ease. He scored a 70 or something in the second, which that test match we won. And then again, he takes a break. He misses all those matches against England, which were absolutely flat wickets in India. The test series that we had last year. And again, it's the same problem. He just can't buy a run. I don't know what happens, but this has been a pattern. Every time he goes on a break, and when he returns, he's not the same player anymore.
He gets runs, not to say that he doesn't get runs, but
He gets
not
runs only
match
no.
winning runs. That's the
He gets runs when the batting conditions become easy. If you see, even he got 100 in Perth, but when did he get a run? When the team was 250 for two. When he batted from there, he got runs. But when he comes in within like 35 for two or 100 for two, even then also he could not get runs. That is a problem. That
yeah,
is an
it
area
is.
of concern with Virat Kohli right now. If you see, and this has been a pattern for like an year now. Every time it happens, only good innings I remember is that game in Bridgetown, Barbados final. That is the only match when under pressure he scored a magnificent knock. That was also, you could have said that South Africa did something big, a lot of clownery there. Otherwise, that also could have been a Hall of Shame innings. I'll be honest.
I mean,
76 or
look,
59. I mean, if India would have lost that game, people would have trolled him like anything.
I mean, his entire T20I legacy would have been wiped out because of that one particular
Exactly.
innings, which
Exactly.
is sad, but it would have been the case for sure.
Yeah.
What happened with UV, if you remember, in that 2014 final?
Bangladesh,
So people,
yeah. Sri Lanka final, correct. Bangladesh
so
final in
that's
Sri Lanka final
Sri
in
Lanka
Bangladesh.
against Sri Lanka in Bangladesh.
Bangladesh,
So
yeah.
it could have been the case with him for sure. And let me tell you that even right now, that innings was not good. We won, but we were a lot short. So I see the
At
innings
least
as tale of
20
two
runs
halves.
was we had.
I see it as a tale of two halves. First 8 9 overs, Virat Kohli played the perfect innings which was required for that situation. That bhai, we are not going to lose another wicket. I am here, holding one end. Perfect. But after from eighth over till I think the 15th or 16th over, he was it was an absolute struggle for him to play to play and for us to watch also. I'll be very honest. We won, but I'm telling you this because that was the case. So as so the two people that we are talking about here, and this is a message to our viewers, we are not experts, right? We are not anybody to criticize, but we are here to see and tell you the play as we see it, right? It's the truth. It's the way we felt. I felt about that innings. Let's be honest. First 8 9 overs, no problem. I have no problem with that innings. Perfect. It was what was needed for the situation. But from that eighth ninth over mark till the 15th over mark or 16th over mark, when he smacked, it was Jansen or
Marco
somebody
Jansen. Jansen.
to whom he got 15 16 of that over. But till that point, it was an absolute struggle. And if India had lost that game, it would have been because of that part, for sure. Not Akshar Patel giving 30 runs. If Akshar Patel hadn't given 30 runs, they would have gotten those runs towards the end.
Mm.
That's because the game would have been different in that case. Right? Ifs and buts, there are lots of ifs and buts. But yeah, if you see it play by play, this is the reality of it.
So that is a big area of concern. Okay,
It's
now coming to the Pakistan game tomorrow.
this
Now
this is
what?
actually the biggest area of concern for me. If
Yeah, that's
you
what.
tell me. So again,
Exactly. And
one
I
thing.
have been thinking about it from the time he got out. I've been
Hmm.
thinking about it because I watched the entire Pakistan game. Thursday means uh, Pakistan's bowling and the way the spinners bowled. Even Khushdil Shah was getting good grip from the wicket because he's also left arm spinner. And this Abrar guy is mystery spinner. And now I see his batting against spin of Bangladesh on these kind of wickets. I don't have very high hopes, to be honest.
Abrar, like I told you, in that section where we reviewed Pakistan versus New Zealand, if viewers you haven't watched, please go and check that. So he's extremely good, and when New Zealand were 73 for 3, he was all on top of it. He was misused in that first game. Had he been used correctly, the result would have been different. And I think they will use him better against India. He can definitely trouble Kohli. Not just
Yeah,
Kohli, any other batters also.
definitely. Now, speaking of mystery spinners, what do you see? Should if the conditions persist like this, should do you see a Varun Chakravarti coming in, bowl in
So
tandem with?
first of
Because
all,
again, the point we made in the previous video when we were discussing about the squad that somehow we lack wicket taking options in the middle overs. Okay, whatever happened, we dropped few catches or something, but what 35 overs is 31 overs is a long time. That too
very
when the
valid
opponent
point.
is five. That too when the opponent is five down in the first power play itself. The entire second power play we are not able to pick a wicket. I mean, I think there is some lack of planning because these are great players. May it be Jadeja, may it be Kuldeep Yadav, they are great players because Kuldeep Yadav and Jadeja are the first and the fourth highest wicket takers in the last 2 years in ODI cricket. So it's not like they are some newbies to bowling in that phase of the game. They are really good spinners. And now suddenly in one game you see nothing happening. So what do you see? Because as Sunil Gavaskar also said, I think on air that or in some interview that in the Pakistan game we should play with four spinners. How do you see it?
I mean, it's a very tricky situation for me. Uh, because because if you don't play Harshit Rana, so I'll tell you what. Who are you going to drop? And before I answer this question, let's celebrate Mohammad Shami for a bit. This guy, we always talk about Jasprit Bumrah, and absolutely fair that we talk about Jasprit Bumrah all the time. We should be celebrating him. But Mohammad Shami is somebody that is always kind of flowing under the radar. You look at any ICC tournament, the 50 over ones, Mohammad Shami has been a gem of a bowler. 2019,
Definitely,
2023. What an absolutely phenomenal bowler he has
definitely.
been.
And I mean, in both the games that we lost, means the deciding games, Mohammad Shami was not able to play his part. Means the 2019 semi-final under the cloudy skies of Manchester,
He
you
was
drop
not
a ball
played.
of Mohammad Shami's caliber, who had 14 wickets in 4 games, you drop him. That too when you are bowling first under the cloudiest of conditions. You drop him for no good reason. Ravi Shastri was on air. He was praising Shami all towards my means he was praising him to the heavens. And my question came into mind: why did you bench him, man? Why did you drop him when you were the coach in the semi-final? That too under such conditions in England. And the second time, we blame Rohit Sharma all these things, but the thing is, Shami was under immense pain. He was under medication in the final. He ideally should not have played the final, but keeping in the mind that it was the final, he decided to play with under the influence of injections, painkiller injections, and he came out to bowl. That's why he was means under immense pain. He bowled, and after that, that is the reason why he didn't. We didn't see him for about 1.5 years. That was the reason he was out of action of the same injury. So in both the games that we basically lost in the decider of the finals, the final and the
You know
semi-final,
this
it
this
was
the thing
Shami.
that happened to the thing that happened to Shami in 2023. It happened to him also in 2015
Okay,
in the semi-final.
that I didn't know. That I didn't know.
He played that with an injury. So
Okay.
yeah,
There also he was, I think, the first or the second highest wicket taker for India. First was
why
Umesh
he was
Yadav
our
at
best bowler.
20
I
wicket.
don't know who was the
This for
highest
sure,
wicket
huh?
taker, but I can tell you that he was the best bowler for us for
Definitely,
sure.
definitely,
Mohit
for sure.
Sharma, Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami. Of course, he was the best bowler for us.
Exactly. So Mohammad
So,
Shami, I mean, it's sad. Means it is very unfortunate on his part as well. There was a weird stat that after Mohammad Shami's debut, uh, only tournament which he didn't play was the 2024 T20 World Cup, and we ended up winning it. I mean, why? I mean, if you are trying to disrespect or mock the caliber of the man, I have no words for you. I have no words for you. I mean, why would you put these kind of stats? And why would you promote that? Anyone for that matter. He's such a legend of the
mm,
game. And he has proved many a times. He has at least in ODI cricket, he got fastest 200 wickets by strike rate. His strike rate is the best. It's even better than Mitchell Stark, who is actually the fastest by number of innings bowled.
yep.
Shakleen Mustak is third in either case, who is one of the legends of the spin bowling department for Pakistan in the late 90s and late 90s, if you know. Shakleen.
Stark, I think, has one or two innings, and Shami took one or four
Shami
innings.
is
I think
one of
Saklen and Shami are tied at one or four. I think, if I remember it
yeah,
correctly. But
something
yeah,
like that. But that's what I'm saying. He's that kind of
in
a
terms of
legend.
balls pulled, he is the
Shami is
fastest.
the
So,
fastest.
so if we have to put it in a statement kind of a thing, we can say that Mohammad Shami, in terms of strike rate, with bowlers having minimum of 200 ODI wickets, he has the best strike rate as a bowler.
Definitely, definitely, and that's how big of a legend he has been in the ODI format for India. And
Yep.
that's why I was telling you, how can you even drop Shami in the previous videos? You were saying that we should play a Siraj or Arshdeep in tandem with Bumrah. And that's what I was saying. You just can't drop Mohammad Shami.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
Like I
big
was
thing.
thinking from a role perspective because we needed a new bowler from that point from that standpoint. I was thinking that maybe Siraj could get an odd ahead. But yeah, so coming back to your question, should we play four spinners? Bro, what if Hardik Pandya gets injured mid-game? How many overs did Hardik Pandya bowl in the Bangladesh game? Four,
Three. Three or four?
three, four,
Three? Four.
four, I think.
Four, I think. Yeah.
So
Because it was not
and
required.
and what was the pace? And what was the pace Hardik bowled? He wasn't looking his
120s.
100%. Yep.
I mean,
I
that
don't know
was a
if
slow wicket as well. He was bowling into the wicket. I mean, why will he go very high pace?
I he didn't, you know, it's not just about the pace. Pace is something that I just told you because it's very easy to gauge by the numbers, but he didn't look very comfortable bowling as well. I
Okay.
understand, okay, it was a spinning wicket, that's why he wasn't given too many overs. It was not needed also. Fair point. But he didn't look very comfortable. And he has to be, of course, used quite judiciously. And we never know what could happen. Mid game, if Hardik Pandya is injured, you will be dead, absolutely dead with just one pacer. Who will bowl in the death? If and bro, there is a chance to get 5 10 overs due, right? Who will bowl at that point? That is a big problem for us. Now,
That is
the
also
main
true.
question. Now the main question. We do need somebody in the middle overs also to take wickets. Now, how do
Hmm.
you balance this? Is the question. Do you drop a batsman, extra batsman, as in
Batsman you
one
can
of the
drop.
all-rounders, as in one of the all-rounders, Akshar or Jadeja? Because
That is
Akshar
not going
Patel
to happen.
cannot be Akshar Patel cannot be dropped because of his batting. Jadeja cannot be dropped because of his bowling. Simple. Now, If we have to play Varun Chakravarti, one of them has to be benched. Who would you bench?
Then he can't
And
play because that
and
because see,
and if you are not going to do this against Pakistan, you have to do this against New Zealand. Why? You ask. Look at New Zealand's batting order. Devon Conway, and if Ravindra plays, then Rachin Ravindra also, because it's a big time.
no,
March in
now
March
Devon,
we play.
mostly Devon Conway won't play. It will be Rachin Ravindra and William because how will you bench William after scoring 100?
It's New Zealand; they
William
can do
can't.
anything.
No, no, no.
But
They won't.
okay,
They won't do
okay.
that.
Let's say Ravindra. Let's say Ravindra and this guy William bats. Rachin Ravindra. Then you have Tom Latham. Then just give me one
Santner.
second.
Santner is there and
Santner is there towards the end. Santner is there
Michael
towards the end.
Bracewell is there.
Michael Bracewell. And Michael Bracewell is an absolute tonker of spin. If you give him
He
left
scored
arm spin, he's going to.
140 or 77 or 87 against us in the same game when Shubman Gill scored a double hundred. I don't exactly remember the number
Yeah,
of
yeah,
balls
yeah,
played. Is
yeah, yeah,
140
yeah.
for sure.
Of yes, yes, yes. He
77
had
or
almost
87.
yeah something of that sort. He scored massively against India. Yeah, I remember that in that game.
Yeah, and mind you, he has good numbers in Pakistan as well. Okay, we are not going to play them in Pakistan, but yeah, he has got very good. He has got hundreds in Pakistan as well, batting. So
Yeah.
yeah, Michael Bracewell is a very good player, and
So
but
so that's the point. You have four, or if both Ravindra and Conway play, then you have five. Otherwise, you have four out of the top seven as lefties. So can you afford to play two left arm spinners? And let's suppose somebody gets their hold of them, then what would you do?
yeah, that is for sure. But my concern again about the Hardik Pandya situation. I mean, what to say? Dubai hasn't been very lucky for him. The problem is the Dubai hasn't been very lucky for him as well. Especially if you go back to 2018 when he got that horrific back injury. When all this problem started, the starting problem was
Asia
of
Cup.
this the Asia Cup against Pakistan ODI game only. I think Rohit Sharma scored 100 in that game, or Shikhar Dhawan, one of the two scored 100 in that game. We were chasing on that day, and
Yep.
that's the problem, and that's a huge problem. If you go back the years, roll back the years, again Dubai, and you are saying it's the same sort of problems. I just hope that nothing is wrong with him, his body, because he was really good in the England series. Whenever he was asked to bowl, he bowled well, and I think he can be used in the middle overs. He should have been used a bit more if we were not getting wickets just to try out some things. But it seemed Rohit was pretty reluctant in using any pacer. I mean, in that 30 overs, I don't think any of the pacers bowled because Shami also came back in the 41st over when he got the wicket of Jakir Ali. Then Harshit Rana also came after 40 overs only. So in the 30 over
Now,
space, none of the pacers bowled.
now my
So
question is, now my question is, so you dropped Siraj, stating what? Stating that he is a good power play bowler, but he's not effective in the middle overs, right? And Harshit Rana picked ahead of Siraj because he's good in the middle overs. Why is Harshit Rana not
exactly.
bowling in the middle overs?
And that is something Rohit Sharma should answer. Come out and answer.
There is no answer here. As long, okay, you if you tell me
This
that okay,
kind of
it's just
things,
Bangladesh game, they were not taking it seriously. Okay, that's an explanation. But otherwise, what's the explanation of playing Harshit Rana? Oh, over Arshdeep, okay, let's forget Siraj. Siraj, they have not picked. Why Arshdeep is not playing? If you wanted a
because
bowler for power play,
apparently
Harshit Rana is better or Arshdeep is better? Of course, Arshdeep is better.
Has got a lot of skills if you see in that aspect. Only thing I can say is if it is a sluggish wicket, right? If it is a pacey wicket or a very, you can say a seaming wicket, then I believe Ashdeep becomes a better bowler. But in kind of a
Hmm.
stick stop kind of a wicket, back in the
When
2021 IPL, if you remember the second leg we had, when in the first innings the ball didn't come, used to come onto the bat, and the second innings with the dew, it started raining sixes. It was raining runs, raining sixes. Shardul Thakur was a very brilliant bowler at that point of time because he also
Yep.
into the wicket kind of a bowler. Harshit Rana is also the same. With that thing, with that aspect, I can see Harshit Rana playing over Arshdeep Singh because he's
Arshdeep.
tall as well and he
Yeah,
hits the
makes
deck.
sense actually.
This is the only reason. Otherwise, some will with that KKR thing, batting thing, these are all are bullshit. If you ask me.
That is absolutely bullshit.
If you are expecting batting from your number 10, that means
No, no.
you have no hope left.
They're both on the same level, Arshdeep and Harshit Rana. I haven't seen Harshit Rana get a Ranji Trophy 100. I haven't seen an
Yeah.
Arshdeep get a Ranji Trophy 100. I've seen Harshit Rana scoring sixes. I've seen Arshdeep also scoring sixes. Even
Yeah.
that Sri Lanka game, he was trying to finish it off with a six.
Yeah.
Arshdeep Singh.
So that is what. So
Yeah.
Arshdeep, I think Arshdeep, I don't see him coming back. If he comes back, it's a good thing because because Babar and all they have a very bad record against Arshdeep Singh. I think he got
This is
both
a
of
very
them out in
good
the
point.
Melbourne game.
This is a very good point
Melbourne
that you
game.
made. I hadn't thought of it this way. That okay, they wanted somebody to bowl into the body.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes a
because
lot of
Dubai,
sense. But
The thing is with Dubai and means the UAE wickets, it is the same thing. Abu Dhabi, keep it aside, but Sharjah and Dubai, if you're bowling into the wicket, it is going to help you a lot. That's why Shardul Thakur was pretty successful there. If you go
hmm,
back in the years.
yeah, yeah, yep,
And
true. That is true.
Harshit Rana on top of Shardul Thakur, he bowls 20 Ks extra. Like he's in the mid 140s
140s,
on
yep,
good days.
definitely.
Yeah, he's in 140s, definitely. And also like 6 inches taller than Shardul Thakur is 6'3" or 6'4". 6'3", I think, Harshit Rana. Pretty tall.
Hmm.
So I think it's a good added advantage. Also, Pakistan is pathetic against short ball. Pakistan is pathetic against short ball bowling. And I'll give you the biggest example was William Urarki. William O'Rourke
Hmm.
is 6'4", 6'5". It's almost it's like Morny Morkel reincarnated. He's like same kind of
Yep.
a bowler. Same pace, same height, everything same, very similar, high arm action. And Harshit Rana can trouble them a lot if he gets his length right. It's going means it's going to be very difficult if he gets his length right because Pakistan is pathetic of short pitch bowling. All the top four, maybe South Shakil, Imam, or Babar Azam, and who's the last one? Rizwan? No way. Agha Salman is also has also had his issues against the short bowling. Means he also got out against Nathan Smith in the same manner, trying to barge down the wicket and hit a pull shot, top edged it up. So all the
So
five players.
overall,
If, so I mean, if you are playing Harshit Rana, there are enough reasons to support his selection into the 11.
hmm. But that said, who would you pick then? Would you go in with the same 11 in that case?
I have to. I mean, after so much discussions, I mean, I see no problem point in the picking the same 11. I mean, we have to. You have to back your guys.
We definitely have to. I know that,
Only
but I
problem is,
still.
I would say, what could have happened if KL Rahul's catch would not have been dropped by Zakir Ali, he would have got out for 9 and he would have been dropped. That is for sure because he dropped catches, he would have missed
Hmm.
a stumping. See, I have no issues against KL Rahul. Okay, whatever happened, let it be. I completely support him because he's playing currently for India. That's fine. But the thing is, with his keeping, at least in the last four ODIs, this one and the last three against England, there have been a lot of misses. If you see, even if in the final, if you go back, how many runs we gave in buys? Just check once. At least 15 runs will be there. We gave in
Yeah,
buys.
yeah. First ball. I think first ball. Okay, we can leave. There was
First
a
over,
miscommunication
one he
between
missed.
Skip and first ball. Okay, we can leave. But in the first over, there were two misses. I think two, not one, two.
Yeah. So, okay,
From that,
but these kind of things you can't let go of, right? Because in big pressure games, these things matter a lot. You see, one catch Rohit Sharma dropped the easiest of catches that costed him a partnership of 150 runs. If something of that
154, and
happens,
that is, and that partnership was the between. Okay, we didn't give enough credit to Bangladesh. We were just talking about India, India, India. These two guys. Tawhid Hridoy and Jakar Ali.
Toil is a
The one
wonderful player.
got
Toil
a
Hriday.
100 and this guy Jakar Ali got a 68. So the
Hmm.
154 partnership between these two was the highest partnership for team batting below six. As in for six or
Six
below,
wicket
Wick-
partnership.
sixth wicket or below. Yeah.
Oh, that's a great thing,
So
to be honest.
that's a good start for them. But yeah, I
So
mean,
this is something that I mean the only this is the area of first area of concern is these are the two players. I mean area of concern for me. One is Virat Kohli. I'm really concerned about his form. Second is KL Rahul. Both with the batting as well as the keeping part.
hmm, yeah, I mean for me, I think it has to be kind of complementary, right? Like when Virat Kohli is batting, that template thing we talked about earlier also, right? If we are going in with the same template, then it has to be the other guy who has to take the risk. But again, we will lead. We can be led into the same situation where Virat Kohli and KL Rahul are batting together, and then
That is
what we do?
horrendous. Because the problem here at Ahmedabad, that wicket was 50% of what we are having here. Ahmedabad was never a 240 wicket. It was a 270, 280 kind of a wicket, even if you are batting first there. Because Australia got the same score. On the same wicket, Australia got 280 odd runs in against England, which England bottled the chase. Remember, Dew was like it was like a swimming pool by 9 p.m. The same day when Pakistan played New Zealand here in Bangalore. So that's what. Ahmedabad was
Yep.
always a 280, 270 kind of a wicket, but we managed 240 because of this kind of a partnership in between. And again, we saw the glimpses of it in this game against Bangladesh. And this, mind you, this pitch is worse because average score is winning score is 233. What would you say? Batting first, winning score is 233.
I think I don't know what to say. And if the
See,
pitches,
if
it's
it is
also
a true,
dangerous.
yeah, it is a two-way sword, double-edged sword. We are rejoicing because we have the three best spinners in the world currently. Akshay means Jadeja. Means finger spinners we have the two best, and Kuldeep Yadav is alongside Zampa and Adil Rashid. Okay, you can say whoever, as per your preference, you can say who is the better one. But the thing is, if it's the same thing, you like you also can't bet. If the pitch is assisting the spinner so much, you don't need to be a great spinner to get the wickets. The same thing that we
Hmm.
faced issue against New Zealand in that home series. We prepared turners and we fell in those turners. That is the problem. Because let's be honest, we can't play spin for shit. Apart from Shreyas Iyer
Rohit Sharma.
and Rohit Sharma. Okay, Rohit Sharma has to stay till spin comes in, right? If he gets out in the power play, you are done. Then
So
again,
that is so.
that is a separate set of problem altogether. So that is my problem. I mean, see, if it is a 50-50 wicket or a good batting wicket, India can't be beaten by any of the seven teams. If it is a 350, 370 wicket, you can't beat India. No way Australia is going to chase down 350 against India, no matter how the dew is or whatever it is. You just can't. They could not chase it down in England, if you remember. In where were we playing? Was it Oval when India scored 352 against them? We comfortably won by 30 runs,
We didn't score
right?
350.
So
We scored 340 odd, 335, 340.
I think
That also they
352
couldn't
was the
chase.
final score. I think
No, no,
352
no,
was
no.
the
We,
final
we
score.
didn't get 350. Whatever. I mean, they couldn't get there for sure.
The one where the one got his thumb broken
They
by Pat
they
Cummins.
threatened. They threatened at one point though when Maxwell was batting, but after Maxwell's wicket, it was gone for them.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is
Anyways, but
Australia, so
it's
they will always
yeah.
fight.
But the thing is, against India on true wickets, I mean, 9 out of 10 days you can't beat India. You have to means India
And
has to be extremely unlucky, like the one against Pakistan in the Champions Trophy of 2017. On a good wicket, we had a bad day.
hmm,
You have to be extremely bad in that day. That's the only way India can lose. But on these kind of wickets, because anyone can become a Muralidharan on that, right? So that is my only concern.
Not your only concern. You told so many concerns. It's like your biggest concern. Let's
Yeah,
put it
biggest
that
concern.
way.
Biggest concern because I was expecting good batting wickets in ICC tournaments. I mean, Pakistan, if 350 is getting scored, here 200 is looking tough. It is not
But
fair,
but
right? On our part.
but but you know what? That also that is something which is why I'm giving India the nod ahead, because it's very difficult for teams to adjust. Because let's be very honest, India is playing all 5 games in Dubai. It's an advantage for us. Let's not shy away from it. Okay, we got that advantage by we are the rulers of world cricket. Let's accept that fact and roll with it. Okay. Now, teams coming in from Pakistan, they are used to getting those good batting wickets. So they're kind of so cricket is all about setup also, right? It's more of a mind game, right? Because technically all these guys are playing at international level. They are there, right? They're there. So the difference becomes the mindset at one point. Now their hands are set where the ball is coming on very well. They're getting those 300s, 400s, that kind of stuff. Now suddenly they have to face India in Dubai, the spin trio of Jadeja, Kuldeep, and Akshar Patel. It's going to be difficult for them. It's not going to be easy. So on a 370 wicket that you talked about, if India faces Australia, India is not going to score 370. India is going to score 400 to that bowling lineup that they have.
Definitely.
England
I
scored
mean,
350. India will score 370. India will score 400 against them.
that is for sure.
If the
That is
wicket
for
is
sure.
that kind of wicket. Okay.
I mean, I want
So
that kind of wicket so that if even if we have a bad day, we can just smack the opposition out of the game.
yeah, that is the truth. That is something that we have to see. And so what our concern is, if the wicket is too spicy, as it was the case in Bangladesh, even then I think only New Zealand is one side that I'm seeing which could trouble us, because they have Santner, and then they have who's the other spinner that they had? I
Bracewell,
forgot.
Bracewell.
Bracewell. So they can trouble us. Pakistan,
I mean,
I don't
I
see.
mean, India,
The way
India.
I'm seeing is the way I'm seeing is, if the pitch is so bad that India is getting all out on 230, how will Pakistan score 230 against our spinners? You
That is
tell
for
me
sure.
that.
It's going to be a very difficult task for them as well. I mean, Pakistan is short skilled. The problem with Pakistan currently, they're short skilled only, if you see. I mean, 22 for 2 in the power play at your home in subcontinent, you just can't justify. Even the conditions are not helping the opposition. Then also you can't bat. I mean, how can you justify that thing? Okay, KL Rahul could not score in 2023. It was Zampa, Pat Cummins, Mitch Stark, Josh Hazelwood bowling. Here, none of these guys were there, right? That too, you are chasing in Karachi, which is and the team scored 320 like an hour before, right? 120 in the last 10, and you just can't bat. And in the same after the 120 from 49 to 40 to 50, then next 10 overs you get 22 for 2. The pitch doesn't change like this. You can't justify in any aspect. How are you going to justify? They're simply short skilled, to be honest. Pakistan is not
Yeah.
my concern. Pakistan, somehow or the other,
No,
we should beat them.
we
Unless
will
Kudrat
beat
ka
them.
nizam happens.
Kudrat
Unless
Ka,
Kudrat ka nizam happens.
I don't think we are losing to Pakistan of all teams for sure.
Yeah, that
You
that is for
if
sure.
you, if
Logically,
you
they
tell
can't beat us.
if they beat us, it's an absolute shame if they beat us. I mean, at this point, Pakistan, like you said, right? Like you said, in their home in Karachi, in good batting conditions, okay, not very good, but good, because 320 opposition scored. It was not like they scored randomly. Last 10 overs, Pakistan conceded 120. So the wicket had to be decent for batting. It was not a turning
Yeah.
wicket. There they managed 22 runs in the power play. 22.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you're telling me that team out of nowhere will create some magic, and they don't have Sam Ayub, they don't have Fakhar Zaman, who is a like good whacker, who can score at
Yeah,
a very good strike rate.
I mean,
And if you're telling
very
me
thin
that team,
choice.
out of nowhere is going to create some magic. Haris Rao in that game, he was smacked for 83 runs in his 10 overs. I think that shot Virat Kohli played against him in the Melbourne cricket ground, that T20 World Cup. After that, he hasn't been the same bowler, right? If you're telling me out of nowhere these guys are going to create some magic, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that they can beat us, to be very honest. There is no chance for Pakistan, in at least my mind.
Yeah,
We'll see if I'm
90,
wrong.
99% sure. I mean, 99, more than 99% sure that
I
India
am
is going to
100 why.
steamroll,
I am
steamroll
going with
past them.
100.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can consider me at say at 100 as well. India is going to steamroll past them because I
We
mean
will be brutally
there is
trolled if by chance India loses, but okay.
I mean, everyone will
But
be trolled in that
we
case.
have, so
From
like I said, we
from
have to be
cricketers
honest.
to experts, everyone is going to get trolled if Pakistan win tomorrow. Nobody is going to get spared. So
But we
nothing.
have to say the way we see it, right or wrong, doesn't we'll see later, but we have
See,
to see the
50
way
over,
we have to call the
people
way we
might
see it.
say that the in Dubai, that T20 World Cup, all those things. See, that was November, that was T20. Okay, there was a lot of dew, all those conditions were there, and there were a lot of internal turmoils within the Indian team at that point of time. If you go back, 2021
Yeah.
World Cup
Ishan
with
Kishan
the
opening out of nowhere after losing one game. Rohit Sharma dropped to
exactly,
number three.
exactly.
A
There were a
mentor, we need
lot
a
of
mentor of all of a sudden. So many things.
so many problems were there at that point of time. 50 over cricket, 50 overs is a very long time, as they say in football. 90 minutes is a long time at the Bernabeu. Same way, 50 overs against India is a very long time currently in world cricket. One white ball.
Dubai is India's
So,
Bernabeu in this Champions Trophy.
yeah. So,
You
we
have to be
can
the absolute very best. Only team that can surprise India in this Champions Trophy is South Africa.
even New Zealand is good. South
New
Africa
Zealand is
again.
good.
I don't
New
know
Zealand,
how they're going to come in against in the chase. That is something I need to see because even in the best of cases, till
mm,
AB de Villiers was there in that phase, mean in the mid
also New
2010s,
Zealand.
they
Yeah,
were good in
we
the
have
chase.
to say.
Before and
I think
after that,
on
they have been the they just can't chase. Even 200 looks like 400 for them in chases.
yeah,
So
I
that
think
is a
I'm
problem.
undermining New Zealand quite a bit.
See,
I shouldn't do
the
that. New
problem with
Zealand
New
is a very good
Zealand
side.
New Zealand, again, I'll go back in the time. 2016 T20 World Cup, if you remember, Nagpur. We were playing the first game against New Zealand. It was our group game, I think. First game against New Zealand, we were playing at Nagpur. And we prepared a rank turner for them, saying that we are going to bowl them out. We had Ashwin, we had Jadeja, UV was also
And
bowling a
we
bit.
did.
And
And we did.
we got them out for 127 or something. Not getting the exact number in my mind.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of
127
a
or
figure.
something. 127 or something, we bowled them out. Bowled, yeah. And we got out for 79. Can you imagine? With all the players of that we had. We had a Yuvraj Singh, we had a Virat Kohli in red hot form, we had Rohit Sharma, we had Shikhar Dhawan playing that game, we had MS Dhoni, we had
Everybody was there.
Suresh Raina, one of the finest player of spin bowling in India. And we had MS
Hardik
Dhoni,
Pandya.
we had Jadeja, Hardik Pandya, everyone was there. And we just got bundled out by a trio of Nathan McCallum, Mitchell Santner, and Ish Sodhi. So New Zealand, we just can't undermine New Zealand at any point of time unless they have lost to us in that game. After the match, only we can talk about New Zealand. That is my simple theory against New Zealand when we play New Zealand. No talk before the match.
Yeah, I think
I
the
mean,
toughest opponent for us would be
and
New Zealand only on that
especially
wicket.
and in the last in the test series also, we gave them spinning conditions 2 out of 3 times. We got bundled out like anything. First match, okay, we gave them seaming conditions. We got bundled out. In the first hour of play, we got all out 46.
Mm.
So New Zealand is some kind of an
And
enigma for us.
New Zealand, why I'm thinking is, let's say if we face New Zealand in the final, in that case, New Zealand would have played already once in Dubai. That also gives them that experience. That's why New Zealand, I think, are top contenders in this city.
New Zealand, come again? New Zealand?
So we will play once against New Zealand in Dubai for sure because they are in our group. Now, let's say New Zealand make it to the final. Final will be in Dubai, and India makes it to the final as well. I'm already into the final mode that India is there.
India
That
should.
will be
I mean,
horrible.
with this, I mean,
But
with this squad and the state of other teams, I mean, I
I
see no
have
reason
Rohit
why
Sharma.
India.
I don't know if you
Okay.
can see Rohit
Yeah, yeah, I can
45.
see. Yeah, if means with this kind of a team and all games at the same venue, if we are not able to make it to the finals, it's such a shame for us. I mean, with this kind of
Yeah,
talent, I see nothing less than a title is a shame for us. Okay,
for
we
sure.
get outplayed in the final, that is a different issue. We'll talk about that if that happens in case. But
Mm.
I mean, we have the highest probability means out of all teams, I think we will have a winning probability of around 80%.
Yeah,
Remaining will have anyone can't even touch us with the kind of squad we have and the way the conditions are behaving.
yep. I mean, for me, that's the point I was trying to make. So I'm mentally there in the final. So let's say India faces New Zealand in the final, then they would be the only team who has played in Dubai twice.
Hmm. And they learn from their mistakes pretty quickly. Is what I have seen in
That is,
the this try series against Pakistan. In Pakistan, basically, they quickly picked up
yep,
whatever
yep,
errors they made in the game against South
yep,
Africa. They quickly picked up. They applied it against
yep,
Pakistan and smacked them two times, three times
yep,
rather.
definitely. Yep, definitely. So I think we've covered a lot of points. Pretty long podcast. This is like the first time we've done a proper podcast kind of a thing. So long. I hope people do enjoy it. And yeah, any final comments on India Pakistan game tomorrow
I mean, we
or
should win.
today? At the depends on the time that you're watching the video.
Yeah, I think we should win. I mean, no final comments. I just think, just say, batting comes good for India. Bowling will do good. That is for sure. But I just hope the batting performs as expected. The roles expected from the team, they perform well.
Yep. That would be the only hope. And yeah, uh, I think we will try to do another video after the India Pakistan game, depending on the result, of course. Of course, we're gonna win. Be confident. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Up until then, hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Check out our other videos also. Let us know if you want us to talk about something in the comment section. Yep, share your thoughts about Champions Trophy, any of the games. Yep. See you in the next video. Up until then, ciao.